Hey guys, welcome to the PM&A podcast. What is going on?
What is going on?
Hey guys, thanks for listening. This is episode number 40.
We looked it up.
Can you believe it?
We looked it up.
We always bad with the numbers. We always forget. We're like,
we always
35,
fuck it
36,
up. We're like, well, it's like, it's not 13. It's not 04.
We got the big 40.
Nice.
It's a big episode, guys.
Yeah.
As always, this episode is brought to you by Always Bearded Lifestyle. They want you to take care of your beard. They have beard grooming products. If you're watching the video, you see the sweet ad. It's the beard grooming products formulated with natural CerClean certified ingredients. They got the beard oil, the beard wax, and of course, the beard cream, which we're handing out today. If one of our guests has a Radish Chad beard.
That's a big deal. That stuff
So the beard cream is awesome, guys. Always Bearded wants you to take care of your beard. Don't shave it off. Grow it out. Be cool. That's what's up.
Where can we get that stuff from?
You can get it anywhere. Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it from local shops. If you go on the Always Bearded website and their Instagram, they have retail shops all over Southern Ontario.
And on Amazon, too, right?
Yeah. So, and they're also on the
shopping
channel. Yeah. So check that out, guys. Always Bearded. Right. They're rad.
Right on. And I've got the Shadywood Hooligans Against Cancer. It's their first annual bash they have on May 30th at 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Polish Legion. And tickets are $20 each. It's a 19-plus event. It's basically just to support cancer and people that are dealing with cancer. And it's actually in the loving memory of Richard Lorbetsky. So that
and the money's going towards research.
Yeah, and it's going to be a
right?
ton of fun. Like they're going to have, I think, Modern Addiction. They're going to be having a flash day in support of that as well.
But it's going to be a big night.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have live bands.
Got a live DJ, I heard.
Yeah, live DJ's going to be there.
Who's the live DJ?
I think it's Shadywood Events. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure Shadywood Events is going to be there.
That's Ernie.
Might be myself.
Yeah,
might be myself.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing that. I think I'm going to be spinning for just a little bit because it's mostly going to be live band thing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, 19 plus event. So keep that in mind. But yeah, no, it's going to be a good time. And
guys, we want to introduce the gents from Wavemaker in Cambridge, Ontario, Matt and Scott. What's up, dudes?
What's going on?
Welcome. Thanks for coming out, man.
For having us,
So we allowed you in the building because you brought gifts.
Yeah, you brought beer.
Always.
You brought So this episode is going to be unreleased after your 1 year. But you guys brought the unreleased double IPA punch strong beer. 7.8 alcohol. This is awesome. We're drinking it right now, so all you suckers at home aren't drinking it.
You're missing
Get the Wavemaker. Get your beer. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's great.
Man, so I guess let's just jump right in. Why beer? Why doing beer? Like, why open a brewery? How did you guys get into it?
Beer's awesome.
Well, yeah.
Welcome to Canada.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, we love our beer. Yeah, man. It's a great industry to be a part of. It's really a rewarding profession and satisfaction from all the hard work you put into your day. You get to actually taste your hard work
fruits
at the end
of your labor,
which is really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Best I can say about that is I made macaroni and cheese and didn't burn it. But actually, speaking of that real quick, so I made Mr. Noodle, and my daughter, all she likes is plain noodles, and I forgot that Mr. Noodle was a soup, so I strained the fucking water out of it.
Oh, you used it like actual noodles?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And my daughter was just like, Dad, what is this? And I'm like, it's plain noodles, it's what you like. And she's like, this isn't Mr. Noodle. And I'm like, it's Mr. Noodle noodles. And so then I'm like, okay, we'll put a little salt and butter on it. Oh, I was just making it worse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't go
getting
well.
out of track here.
But anyway,
yeah. I've never... when we were kids, we used to eat them raw, right out of the pack.
Right.
Without
That's
any
what
of the
I
salt?
was doing too.
You don't have the salt?
No, you don't
sprinkle
need
it on there sometimes. Yeah,
I didn't even use the package. I was lazy. I'm like, I don't feel like opening it.
They taste good though on their own.
No, for her.
I was just they're really good for you.
They're not good for you at all.
They're not. I used to do the same thing.
They're not good for you at all. They're just all salt and just like garbage.
Yeah,
That and Pop-Tarts. I don't know anybody who's actually cooked a Pop-Tart.
I did one a month ago. Because I wanted to try it. I've never done it before.
You've never cooked a Pop-Tart?
I threw it in the toaster and I let it just like sit there for a while. I'm like, okay, this is what
How long do you leave it in for?
Well, it's like like a regular toaster. You put it in for like a regular.
I know what you put it
anywhere,
in.
but like the 3-minute thing. I don't know. There's like, look at the box.
Yeah,
I'm sure
but like,
the box says-
was it all melty or did you just
so the
warm
inside got warm. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but
here?
it's okay. No, we're talking about Pop. This is science. So, like, when you heated it up, was the inside like mushy?
Yeah.
Or was it just like a warm?
So have you ever had a
Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tart?
Not in the microwave.
So you've never had? No. It was in a toaster.
No. I don't toast
Throw it
them.
in the toaster. Jesus.
That's what we're saying here. I've never, no,
Anyway,
ever.
Yeah, man.
did you guys grow up around here? You did, right?
Yeah, I'm from Preston originally.
Yeah. And you,
I'm not actually. I'm pretty new to Cambridge, so I just moved here to go
A year ago?
Start at Wavemakers. So
no
it was
way.
about 2 years ago now. But yeah, I'm from Bowmanville.
Oh.
So
Oh,
about
wow.
2 hours east of
Yeah. So I would drive through there. I've been working in Havelock. So I
cool.
drive
Yeah,
through,
not far from
basically
there.
drive through there to get to kind of the way to get to Havelock.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Just a
so-
hop, skip, and jump away.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And so we met when I was working at a brewery up there.
What brewery?
In
Are you allowed
Port
to
Perry.
ask?
Yeah, for sure. It's an Old Flame Brewing Company.
Oh, cool.
In Port Perry.
Cool.
And so I was there for 3.5 years or so, and then Matt worked at a bar down there, and
Yeah.
he also ran a homebrew shop down in
Oh, wow.
Bowmanville, and so he was in the industry too. So we got to know each other and became friends, and
Yeah.
here we are brewing good beer. Yeah.
So, but you haven't been in the industry for a while. I know I was reading some articles and some other interviews you do, not to like repeat or anything. So you had your start there at that brewery in Port Perry, and then did you go to, was it Mill Street? You worked at Mill Street for a while, someone said?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So, yeah, I started in the industry in 2011, beginning of 2011. And I was an accountant before that.
What?
Yeah, I know. Completely different.
Not even on the floor?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was cool. So it was really cool to kind of shift gears. You know, I didn't really want to sit at a desk,
Yeah.
all the time. And,
He went from accountant to a macon.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Prepare
Yeah.
for the rest of the night.
And Matt,
Hopefully
too, actually.
back to accountant again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, man.
What's going on here?
Man.
What's going on here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
accounting cash, yeah. Yeah, Matt has a background in accounting as well.
I do.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have
Believe it or not.
probably, starting a business. You got no money. So.
Yeah, man.
Definitely helps with starting a business.
So did you guys go to,
Yeah.
what schools did you guys go to for accounting?
Brock University. Yeah.
Yeah, Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you went from accounting to making beer, and obviously you just loved it, so you started making your own beer. So now we're at Wavemaker a year ago. Why Cambridge? How did you get that going?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I quit my job at Old Flame, and
Was that scary?
No, actually, it was the right time. It was time for me to. I really wanted to, start my own brewery at some point,
Yeah.
and it just became the right time to get out there and either do it or don't. You know what I mean? So I started writing the business plan and getting the financing together and all that. So we're 100% brewer owned and operated. So
You're not on the
there's
sidelines.
exactly
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So there's not like a big investment group behind us
Yeah.
trying to extract money or anything like that. We're really about making the best beer we possibly can, and that's our first and foremost policy, no matter what
Yeah, you guys
is
make
going
really
on.
good beer.
Yeah.
Like
Thanks,
straight up,
man.
you guys make really good beer.
Thanks, man.
Like I brought so many people to Wavemaker the last year, like last summer, where I think I was there like almost every weekend, just picking up beer.
Yeah, sweet.
But like you're doing something good. So what's the secret? Like don't tell me ingredients, but like obviously you guys started it. But
what's
like,
in it? How much?
Yeah.
You
Give
guys
me
pay
give me the
attention
deets.
to detail, right? So how do you guys how do you really make beer? Like what's the brass tacks on that? Like make a good beer.
Yeah, we can give you the quick rundown.
Yeah.
It's made with malted barley, which is a grain that grows in the ground. It looks a lot like wheat when it's growing. And hops and water and yeast. So hops are like they look like little pine cones that grow on like a big vine.
Yeah.
They grow really fast. Like it grows like you can actually see it grow throughout the day in
What?
its peak.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
nuts. Yeah, so it basically grows like a weed, and it grows up like very linear. So hop fields have these big posts, trellises that support the hops as they grow. So it's really cool to see these rows of these hop cones kind of trickling down.
Is it a bud? Is that what you would call that?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it looks very much almost like a weed, kind of like a bud, kind of.
Yeah.
Except obviously it
Cousin
looks
of the
kind of like
marijuana
a
plant.
kind of
It
like
is, yeah.
like a pine
What?
cone kind of look to it.
Cousin
it
of the
does.
marijuana plant.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh
and there's
man.
some hops that can make your beer taste like weed too.
Like
if
kind of
you use
almost
them.
like skunky, almost.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, it
the
can
word
be,
you're
for
looking
sure.
at?
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
It's like this weed has more hops.
I heard. So,
I love that
do you
movie.
guys grow your own hops, or where do you guys get all your ingredients?
No, but we do have a space behind the brewery that thinking of maybe turning into a beer garden at some point, and I'd love to plant. I was thinking trellises on the both sides, and
Just
See,
naturally
now you
growing
could do like weed
Yeah.
and then hops right beside it.
that'd be nice too. Yeah,
Oh man.
Gavin.
So you guys obviously know what you're doing, right? So where did you get that kind of knowledge? Where did you get that learning?
Well, I started by home brewing at home,
Yeah.
and Matt is a home brewer as well.
Yeah, I definitely started through the homebrew path. And it started as a hobby and became an absolute obsession. So much so that I quit my accounting job and opened a homebrew shop.
No way.
Yeah.
So that's probably what did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You're
I-
obsessed.
you
I
kind of-
advise against that, by the way. You got to be a little crazy, but
you just gotta take the leap of faith.
I loved it that much, and then through running the shop, I gained a lot of knowledge that way, and then started doing collabs with pro brewers, all different breweries, all different collabs.
Yeah.
Including Scott. And actually, it's funny because I just found a newspaper article the other day that from 2016 that was Scott and I's first time brewing together at his
Yeah.
former brewery. So
Yeah, which was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it
And
was
that
a lot of
beer-
fun.
That beer was great too.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
yeah, and then when when Scott left Old Flame, I kind of knew that he was going to start his own thing eventually, and then. It just kind of fell into place, and I was ready to make a change, and it worked out.
Yeah, man.
Here we are.
Absolutely.
So how long were you doing it at homebrew, like your own thing for?
A long time.
Like 4 years, 5 years?
Since like 2004.
Oh, really?
No way! Like out of
Yeah.
high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much so that I used to have to buy. I've actually ordered beer ingredients from Australia. Because at the time when I started homebrewing, there was not much in the way of fresh ingredients in Canada.
And like Australia,
yeah,
like
come a
that's
long
like
way.
that's not just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Oh
away.
my god!
It's amazing how much it's changed
Yeah,
in
man.
that time. But
man.
that's my path. Scott has a very different path than me.
Yeah. I took. I graduated from Brock with my accounting degree. And
Yeah.
I did the co-op program there, so it was. I had a lot of hands-on experience working in an accounting firm and stuff, and which was a great place to work, but just wasn't quite for me. I kind of knew that. And
Behind the computer wasn't. Yeah.
yeah, like I like accounting. I like looking at spreadsheets and stuff every once in a while, but I didn't want to do that on a daily basis. And
Right.
I found myself for my last semester at Brock, I was studying brewing, and more than
What?
I was studying for my final accounting exam. So I was like, I think I know where my heart is. You know?
Yeah.
Like I really just want to follow that and see where it goes. And
I think I was doing the same thing at work too.
yeah, man. Yeah, it just gets you, man. Like it kind of bites you, and you just get like how it started was I was drinking a beer, and I literally had no idea of how it was made, like at all.
No way.
And I just started reading about it. I'm like, this is really interesting. Like it comes from like, really raw materials, and it's kind of cool, and you can make something delicious, and there's tons of different flavors and styles, and I was just learning about that at the time, so it was really cool to go to the LCBO and pick random stuff off the shelf and see how you like it, and you kind of develop a palate for that. And then I really wanted to learn more about it, so I started brewing at home, and then I went to brewing school at Niagara. And
oh wow.
yeah, so that was a lot of fun. 2011 to 2013, I was in Niagara for the brewing program.
What?
What was
Yeah, it
that
was a lot of
program?
fun.
What was that program like?
It was awesome. Yeah, it was good.
Was there a
man.
lot of people in it?
Did the guy that
Yeah,
was
it was
running it
good.
kind of look like a hipster?
No, actually, you'd think so, but no.
Right?
The guy running it actually, the head brewer there is John Downing, and he's a veteran brewer, I guess. Like he's maybe approaching retirement age. Kind of like been around the industry for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from the UK, so he started over 100 breweries in his career. He was like a brewery consultant and went around and helped install breweries for his career.
Like
so
all over
kinda
Canada
landed
kind of
in-
thing?
Yeah, all over the world actually.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
yeah. So
He knows what's up.
yeah, for sure. So he joined up with Niagara College to create the program, and now they have a distilling program there, and they have the winery program. Of course, was first before the brewery, and then the distilling is first or second years are starting to come out now, and they have a weed program there too. They grow.
Man,
to
things
grow
are just
nuts.
like ramping up. Eh?
So would the wine program be completely different than the brewing program?
It is. They're in separate The classrooms, like the sensory rooms and all that, are the same, but they have their own winery and they have a separate brewery
Are
building.
they like the snooty class, and you guys are kind of like the?
Yeah, it was actually really cool. We got a chance to really like try a lot of the wines that they're making, and they have a big vineyard there, so you can try like the fresh wine and stuff that they're doing. And
I'd be the
stuff,
one be like, give me the sweet one.
Yeah, I like sweet wines too.
Do you?
I like dry wines too.
Yeah, I don't
sweet
like
wines.
wine.
I'm not a wine guy.
No.
Red wine with like a nice steak, maybe, but like
Yeah.
I'm a beer guy.
Like
and
even
whiskey.
beer
nice.
too. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Coors Light, something nice and light. But this, I really like this.
Nice, man.
surprising.
Yeah, that's
I know.
sweet. Yeah,
Like-
that's great.
Some of
like-
the stuff that Jeremy throws at me, I'm like,
What's that? Like that example you were giving about going to the LCBO and trying. I do that all the time. I'll go to the LCBO, haven't had it. Then you get to a point where you're kind of just like, I want to try some new stuff. So then we'll go to breweries. My wife and I will like go for like a road trip. We'll go to like Cowbell. We'll go up to Collingwood.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll go Kincardine. We'll go all the places and just try the breweries.
Cambridge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that too.
so that's the funny thing is like, why is it easier now, or why are breweries you think now popping up like crazy? Like they're just like so like in Cambridge alone in the last 2 years. So Forefathers, Jackass Brewery, and then you guys. So like, why is it easier now? Like, what's going on? The market.
Cambridge was pretty barren for a while. It was they had Grand River, and then Barn Cat popped up after that, and then there was nothing for a while. And for my personal journey, like I'm from Cambridge. You know, I grew up a couple blocks from here, and and the brewery is a couple blocks from where I grew up, and my grandfather had a corner store that was a couple blocks from there, and a couple blocks the other way my great grandfather had his own store. So it was kind of cool to like.
That's awesome.
If I am gonna do it, I
Yeah.
want to do it kind of in Preston if
Locally,
possible, in Cambridge if possible. Yeah. But
Oh,
Cambridge
man.
is really unique because a lot of the industrial zoned properties are all on Industrial Road, and up there with a few of the other breweries are located,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of options, and we kind of just found a great spot, and we're right in the residential neighborhood, so
It's a good spot.
yeah, it's
a great
really
spot.
cool, man. Yeah, it's walking distance for
From a
a
lot
lot
of
of people.
people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
great. Yeah, it's awesome. So we got really lucky there.
Yeah. So I guess now that you're in Cambridge, you guys have been. So when you guys first started, so what determines like a beer strength? Why do you guys make certain beers? Like, what's like? Is it just because you taste like the taste of it, or the fancy of it, or like what?
Yeah, it's all about like the objective of the beer, I suppose. Like if we kind of want to do something big and bold and like Punch, for example, is a great one where it's got a good balance of citrus and juiciness and resin and bitterness, and it's kind of just everything you want in a big double IPA, you know. But we've done more like New England style IPAs, which are very citrus forward and very juicy, and we've done other stuff too. We've done a traditional German Doppelbock too,
Loved
which is
it.
a lot of fun.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a great beer.
Yeah.
8%.
Yep.
Big bold lager, which was awesome. Big caramel notes and stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, and we have a nice easy drinking lager right now. So we have a very good range of beers that
For
we'd
sure.
like to offer. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. And to your point, you're saying you're a lighter, easy drinking style beer. That's the cool thing is everyone likes something different, and all beer is subjective. So the cool part about brewing is you don't have to stick to one style. And then quite often, like me and Scott don't tend to like one style. We like all different stuff. So that's what we brew.
Yeah.
And what's great about that is we'll hit anything from, say, something like this, like a big punchy double IPA, to an easy drinking lager. And then that way, everyone can at least enjoy something when they come in.
Yeah.
So-
that's our main goal. Yeah.
right on.
for sure.
So how many did you have when you were doing it yourself? Like when you were making it yourself? When you had
The
your own
home brew.
shop?
Home
Home brew?
How many different beers
Yeah,
have I brewed?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Too many to
Oh, so
count.
you would switch it up, like
I quite often I wouldn't brew the same thing twice.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's kind of for me, that's why I fell in love with it. That's kind of the passion side of it for me, is trying different things, is brewing different styles, getting good at a particular style, but not just brewing that.
Yeah.
Always learning. If you're not learning, you're not trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt has some solid recipes too. His Christmas ale recipes
Yeah.
really,
Loved
really
it.
dope, man.
I loved
Yeah,
it.
it's
I
crazy.
loved that. I bought that at
Yeah.
Christmas. I think I let you
Oh,
try it. I loved it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. And the He's got a great cream ale as well. He does a great cream ale.
Yeah.
Have you guys put that out yet?
No. We did, this is a recipe that I used to homebrew quite often. But
Oh,
people
buddy.
dig the cream ale.
Love
Yeah.
a cream ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, hits the spot.
Oh man, so I'm a huge beer fan. I drink everything. That's like my dad. So our family's from Belgium. So like beer is like we've been drinking beer since we were like 13,
No,
like
yeah,
14. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
drinking beers, trying different beers. So I really like strong beers. I love it. I like those Papist, like those beers that are like 12%, like heavy. Like
Yeah,
I
they're
love
great.
them. How do you guys make stronger beer, less stronger beer? Why would you make like this? For instance, it's like a 7.8, but then that Doppelbock, is that the pronunciation?
Yeah, Doppelbock.
Yeah. Why is that one like way stronger? Like, what's the difference? Like,
It
always
comes from
wondered
the amount of sugar that's available for the yeast to ferment,
Okay.
and that comes from the malted barley that's used, or other sugar sources, but mostly comes from malted barley and wheat and that kind of stuff. And during the process, grain is very starchy, but during the production, the starch is converted into smaller sugar molecules. And so the amount of sugar that's converted and the amount of grain you use basically is a good rule of thumb. The more grain you use, the more alcohol that's eventually going to come out in the finished product.
So to go from raw product to in the can, what is the time lapse for that?
It takes about 2 to 3 weeks for an ale and 4 to 6 weeks for a lager.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that gives you enough time to draw the logo as well.
who makes the logos?
I actually did this one. This one was a lot of fun.
So you're an artist as well.
Not really. I try. But
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
This is the best one for sure.
It's pretty cool.
I like the progression you've had with the labels, like just like the strict name, and then now you're like adding to that. That's so rad.
Yeah, and we're kind of putting our own flair and our own personality on it. And I was working with a few different designers at the start, and they helped us kind of develop a path for the brewery. And so now I'm doing all the labels myself. I'm starting to get a little better at Illustrator and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to
You guys
learn
use
that
like a
too.
computer program or something, and then
Yeah.
what? And then you
Yeah,
just
man.
have stickers, and I think I saw
Yeah.
the one day you were just like just putting labels on beer.
Yeah, all hand labeled, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Gets a little time consuming.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So how far ahead are you guys thinking for beer? Like how far ahead? Like for beers? Like obviously if it takes 4 to 6 weeks, you guys are like, okay, in 4 to 6, like how far ahead are you guys thinking?
Yeah, brewers have a great challenge ahead of them where they're have to think ahead for like a month and a half of what do you want to, because what I want to brew in 2 weeks, I got to have the ingredients come in and have them in house, so I have to order them now, and then a couple weeks go by and they all show up, and then you got to brew the beer, and that's another 2 to 4 weeks, and then in the can, and yeah, so it's
It's a little bit of planning, especially
It's a
for
little bit of planning,
seasonal
for sure.
stuff too, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of fruit beers too. So getting the fruit in and that kind of stuff can be, it kind of changes the schedule a little bit. It all depends on what suppliers you're working with and what they're able to provide for you and stuff. So
Wow.
For sure. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a balancing act, right?
Do
Yeah, for
the
sure.
seasons affect you at all?
yeah, beer, in my opinion, is very seasonal. Obviously people love sitting on a patio in the summertime and love, chilling outside and on the dock and all that kind of fun stuff. But winter is also a lot of fun for beer too. We can do bigger and bolder beers and, a lot of stouts and those kind of porters and those kind of things. They kind of come out more around the autumn, and pumpkin ales and stuff like that too can be a lot of fun in that season. So
What do you guys think about pumpkin ales?
I
Like, is
like
it
them.
becoming too much of a fad? Because I myself, I love pumpkin ales, but I try to try them all. My favorite one's the Flying Monkey one. Have you tried that one?
That's
It's
really
like a-
good.
yeah,
I like that one.
is.
It is top notch.
It's a big one too. It's
So,
like 10% or something.
That one and Nightmare on Mill Street is like my
That's a
top
good one,
two.
too.
Yeah, those are my top two. But what do you guys think about like pumpkin ales and like that kind of like? Is it like a fad thing or?
I like them.
Yeah.
I do, but I think I like them because I only drink them once a year.
Right. Me
You know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they can become a bit too much.
Yeah.
But I do like them. I like to see what
rad.
what other breweries kind of take and spin and what they can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. Would I drink it all the time? No.
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 Yeah.
But
It's too
I do
sweet.
like them.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite tradition to do is to go out and buy maybe 5 or 6 different pumpkin ales, and then on Halloween night, I just like, so we'll do sober October, and then Halloween night I'll just like be handing out candy, just slam
I'm gonna get this new one.
slamming back pumpkin ales.
Paw Patrol gets 3.
I stay home. I'm respectable. I don't get drunk. Nobody's making a mess.
Going to that guy's house. he's putting up the Christmas lights.
Literally the next day I put up Christmas lights, but
Yeah,
that's what I
sick.
do with pumpkin ales. I like to just like, that's my tradition. I'll buy them and then drink them on Halloween because like it's a better time to do it on Halloween.
Good tradition.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
It's sweet.
That's
It's
great.
just, I look forward
A
to
lot
it
of
every
fun.
year.
He's the guy with the Bluetooth speaker in the tree playing sound effects.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, growing up, we weren't allowed to celebrate Halloween. Our parents were very traditional Christians, conservative, and so we weren't allowed to do Halloween. So when I first got my house, Ernie's like, "So you're doing Halloween?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah,
I'm scaring these
So
kids.
like each year, I keep ramping it up. So one year is just like pumpkins and a nice like hay bale, and then the next year I had like a ghost in the tree. Now I'm just like, ghosts in the tree. I got like spider webs coming down. I have like the sound effects of like a cemetery outside and like a strobe light in the window, and yeah we just
Guy drinking in the door.
enjoying his pumpkin ale, eating his candy for like 4 hours straight.
for you kids.
I feel that like Halloween hasn't been as strong as it was when we were
Used to be-
kids.
When I was a kid, it used
Yeah.
to be insane.
See,
Yeah,
yeah.
My perspective is ramping up even more. Like it's like,
Oh, that's good. I
That's
like
great,
to see
man.
that.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
But,
Did you have a lot of like kids come by here
dude,
from the neighborhood?
we have like almost 200 kids.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I sit with like a piece of paper.
Yeah,
But
you
after
make
like
the
at
text.
number 90, though, it's kind of like, let's just keep adding them on. No, I'm just
That's because of the pumpkin ale.
Yeah, exactly. No, I count them as the day goes on, but it's like, it's crazy. Like, it's just like, I feel like Halloween is such a cool time. And historically, like, now I have like these arguments with people that are still pretty staunch in their ideas of Halloween. Halloween was actually started by the Catholic Church. Like, it
that
was. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So Halloween is actually, so you call it All Saints. All Hallows Eve is All Saints Eve, which is like the day before Halloween is All Saints Day. And so what they would do on that night is go around and want like tokens or like bread or money for the church. So they would go house to house on All Saints Night, All Hallows Eve, and get money and stuff. That's how it started. That's how it started
No
the
way.
tradition. Yeah, it's
know that.
That's
it's
really
crazy.
cool. Yeah, I didn't know.
So like, if you want to argue with like no, don't argue Christians, but
You should have argued with a Christian we saw today.
okay, let's not get
Oh,
into
yeah.
it. Let's not get into it. So, but like, but it's crazy to think like Halloween was actually started by the Catholic Church, and then they've got into like the costumes and stuff now. But what I do is I'll pick a character, and that kid gets like crazy candy. The kid gets crazy candy. So the one year I picked Boba Fett. And
Nice.
the kid came up, he was Boba Fett. I'm like, come here. I gave him like a
I
ton of
thought you were
candy.
gonna say Boba Fett gets a can of beer. That sounds.
No.
Don't tell mom.
Yeah,
And the
don't
one,
tell
did you
that.
guys watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
I
So,
have.
one kid dressed up as Rick,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't not give you a ton of candy. I'm like, this is genius. So,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween's what's up now.
Well, we were at the
That's
top
good.
of Sean's Hill there, so it was just like we weren't walking down the hill, that's for sure, and kids weren't walking up the hill to go to us. So and we were right at the corner there, so
Yeah.
like they're not coming all the way out there, and for
Yeah.
us we just no.
Yeah, we
Not
weren't
a whole
allowed
lot.
to go out. They just thought it was like a thing. But
We would get to go out by where Oma's house was. I remember we would walk up.
remember that.
Yeah, we would walk. Well, no, you weren't allowed. You weren't around by then. We hadn't found you yet. But
speaking about, so that's actually how we got into beer. We would sit around, and my opa, he's a Belgian guy, and he would just be cracking beers, like just be like sitting watching bowling, just watching beer. Didn't talk much, but the guy had liked his beer. And the funny thing is when he passed away, my Oma still loves beer. Like she passed away a year ago, but just like always, like she loved Belgian ales. One of her favorite Belgian ales was Belgian. I don't think it's not even a Belgian beer, Belgian Moon or something. But that's how we got into beer.
did you mention
That's
her
really cool.
age?
Yeah, she was 96.
Oh my
And
gosh. Yeah.
still drinking beer,
Amazing.
cognac after
Loved
supper,
it.
Oh,
wine
yeah,
after
man.
supper. Like,
They know how to
Well
do it,
deserved.
man. Yeah. Yeah.
so
man.
it kind of makes you think, like, what's
I said
in the
she was well. I
alcohol?
used to tell her she was just so well pickled. That's why.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
been out that so long.
yeah.
So like first beer. Do you know what your first beer was that you ever tried, and like
I
when you
do.
tried it?
Yeah.
Mom,
yeah.
mom, don't
What's
listen.
your story?
No, that's cool. Mine was Alexander Keith's.
Oh, yeah.
I had it with my older brother who went to university. He's 3 years older than me. So I was grade 10, I guess, and he was in university, and he was like, "Yo, have one of these." Like, okay, all right.
Was it cold?
It was cold.
Okay, good.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
I actually I remember I find it delicious now, but at the time I thought it was gross. I was like, who drinks this crap? I don't even know. It was disgusting. I didn't finish. I remember I didn't finish the bottle. I gave it back to him.
You're just
Here,
like,
you finish it. Yeah, man. So yeah, that was my first
Alexander
beer.
Keys. What about you, man?
I think my first beer I was like 5. So
Yeah.
I remember my grandpa giving me a bottle of beer, and we were on his front porch, and I dropped the bottle and it smashed everywhere.
Yeah, that's about right.
But I couldn't tell you what type of beer it was, but my actual drinking experience, I think it was a Molson Canadian.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's kind of what I drank because I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And
It's funny how we look back and we're like, why did I drink that?
yeah, it's weird because I got into craft beer super, like, there wasn't much of a craft beer industry in Canada even at the time. And what got me into it is I went to a bar and they didn't have bottles of Canadian, which is what I drank. And I always saw this Guinness stuff go out, and I was curious.
Thick.
And I tried it, and I loved it. And then from then, I would just try all different stuff. And so I used to go to the States a lot. They were far ahead of us in the craft beer department at that time. And so I'd build season tickets, so I'd go like every other weekend, and all the bars there have all
No way.
the crazy stuff even back then.
Really?
So yeah, I would just try something new every time, and then kind of got hooked. And once you get hooked, you don't really go back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was that.
Yeah, like one of my first experiences with beer. I might have been 17.
Yeah.
And I had a Coastreicher Schwarzbier, which is a dark lager from Germany. But I didn't know it was dark. It was just in my hand, and it was just dark beer, and I felt it was so strong because we're not really used to that, especially at that age and exposure to beer. So it was really cool to see like how you start with something easy drinking, and then you're like, I kind of want a bit more, and I kind of want to see what else is out there. I remember going to Buffalo as well when I was in brewing school and really getting exposed to how the industry is going down in the States and how that relates to
For sure.
to Canada. It's really cool.
They're way ahead of us. The craft brewery.
Yeah, I feel that a lot of our trends in Canada have stemmed from a lot of the experimentation that's done in the States. I think with the power of the internet, I think it's come a long way where everybody's kind of on almost a level playing field now, where it's everybody kind of knows what's going on, and it's not as segregated. I guess it's very like if somebody does a style and I happen to see it online, I see it and I can literally brew it the next day, up here in Canada.
Just by looking at it.
Or just like learning about the style and like
yeah.
what it's about and learning how it's made and doing research on it and then doing a beer up here. It takes, as a small company too, we're very able to do anything at the dime of the hat. If we feel like if say Matt has a dream and is like, hey, I want to do this one beer or whatever, we could literally brew it the next day,
Oh, yeah. So you guys living the dream. You guys are waking up
Literally
smiling every day,
man. Yeah.
It is a cool job.
Yeah.
That's rad.
So would you say you get a lot of inspiration from like what you see from like the States more than like what's going on in Canada, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say
Even now?
I used to more than I do now, but I do pull inspiration from what I see out there, and I think it's a great way to continual learning is always a great thing to do in anything. But I really try to you got to keep your ear to the ground, know what's going on, see what people like, see what people don't like. If there might be like a new hot style, but then after a few people do it, you realize consumers might not actually respond well to it. It might be new for like a couple months or whatever, but then as you see, like some of your customer base might not like it, or you read online that people might not be as happy about it or whatever. So.
Well, was that last summer or was it the summer before everybody was putting lime in it? You couldn't turn your head without anybody. I think Bud Light was putting lime in it. And
Bud Light Lime was a lot of fun because that was actually one of my first outside of the regular kind of beers that I actually hunted down. I remember driving around with my buddy Andrew, who's a big craft beer geek now, but at the time we were very still new to it, and we were going to like those bars that are kind of like like nightclubs and stuff. And it was the summer that Bud Light Lime came out, and no one had it.
Impossible to get.
It was sold out. It was nuts, and I actually really like it. I think it's delicious.
I
And
never liked it. but I was bartending at the time, and I remember the bar could never get it. So
yeah, it was just
geez.
always sold out. And I remember hunting around with Andrew for it and trying to get it and stuff. And we got it at a bar that. It's out in Port Dalhousie, which is now torn down. The Port Dalhousie was like kind of like a party. They had like it's like a residential community, but with like a bar scene, which is kind of random, and near St. Catharines in Niagara.
Wow.
But all those bars kind of got shut down because they were going to put up like condos and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the time they we did Bud Light Lime. When the bar had it, everyone was like, yeah.
They're losing their mind over it.
Everybody's putting lime and shit. I can't remember that.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's on lime.
Yeah, man. It was great.
It's weird how things like fall in and out of style as well when it comes to beer. Like we were just talking about this. I think it was this week. Mm-hmm. Like there's a black IPA is a style that it's like
they're
it's
delicious.
like kind of a cross between a stout and a really hoppy
Okay.
IPA. It's a little different. I myself love it, and it had
me too.
2 good years. It had like 2 good years where it was widely popular in the craft beer scene, and then it kind of fell off.
Black IPA.
Yeah, it kind of fell off which is unfortunate.
Which is a shame. Yeah, 'cause
Sounds like you guys should bring it back.
We are going to bring it back
Yeah,
for sure.
Was when Scott and I brewed for the first time together at his previous brewery. That was the style we brewed actually, and it was really good.
It was a very good example of.
You guys hit a lot of
yeah.
home runs. You guys hit a lot of home runs when it comes to beer.
Thanks,
Like, I'm
man.
going to keep complimenting you. That's my thing.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
compliment
man.
people.
Thanks,
like, if I get excited about something, I'm just like, that's what's up. You probably saw,
spread
like,
the love, man.
I post a lot of your photos in the summer, like, drink this beer. And I always, like, I do like these photos where it's, like, I post about it. Like, I'm almost, like, doing, like, a placement for it. But I'm like, because I enjoy beer. I want other people to enjoy it, you know. So
Yeah,
and
it's
then
cool.
I
appreciate
bug
that
him
very
because
much.
I'm
he
like,
goes, "What's your other one?"
Another beer, I see.
And that's what's cool about being the
not
local
even
the local
Halloween.
brewery too, where
Yeah.
we can just kind of like do tons of new stuff, and we've brewed a couple batches that we've done, but we've done over 20 or 30 different beers this year.
Actually, I just counted today.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got our anniversary T-shirts.
Oh, yeah, right.
That we're selling at the party.
Yeah,
And
check it out, guys.
One right now,
I have
actually,
one
yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
But
And
on the
on
back
the
of
back.
this, it has all the beers that we've brewed to date.
How much are those shirts? I'm going to go grab one.
$25.
$25
Alright,
bucks,
alright,
I think.
alright.
Yeah.
American dollars?
yeah, we'll take it.
But I actually counted. So it's 30 unique, so 30 different beers that
That's
we've
sick.
done
Whoa!
to date. And then we've, like Scott said, we've rebrewed a few of those, but 30 different beers.
Yeah, which is strictly organic too. Like it doesn't come from us always wanting to do different things. It was kind of just like we'd be talking and be like, what do we feel like? What do we feel like brewing right now? And what do we feel like we need to add to our board? And
I feel like that's
customers
usually
want
how it
this and
happens.
that.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
We usually just go, what do you want to brew?
That is awesome.
Totally, man.
What are those
And it
meetings
kinda
like? Are
comes
they
from
just
that.
they're just like hanging out? You're just hanging out drinking beers. Like, what do you want to do next?
Totally. Yeah, totally.
But,
Yeah.
often it is kind of like that, yeah.
For sure, yeah.
But that's what's fun. That's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
And,
That is so
keep
awesome.
Keep it interesting and keep it fresh and
Mm-hmm.
try different stuff. And, to my point earlier, the more variety, the more that quite often people are going to find a beer for them. And everyone's going to like something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys definitely do that.
Yeah.
It's like the spectrum is huge for people to go like Ernie likes a nice light lager, and me, I like everything. I'm not a big blonde fan. I'm not a big blonde. I don't like citrus. My wife is huge into your fruit ones. Like she
Yeah.
just loved it. Like but you do have a giant spectrum, and that's very
Yeah,
added.
wasn't
like,
there one that said
Thanks,
like
man.
fruit salad or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fruit salad
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
That's a lot of fun,
Yeah,
man.
my wife loved
Yeah.
it. That's a huge hit.
For sure, yeah, it really is. And
Yeah, it's pretty
actually,
popular,
this
for
is
sure.
the longest time that we haven't had a fruit salad series beer on because we did raspberry first, which was last spring, which we're bringing back. We have the raspberries right now. We just got to
Delicious.
find the right time to make it happen.
Yeah, soon.
And very soon, next few weeks we're gonna be brewing that. And we did the pineapple mango blend for
Yeah.
the summertime, which is kind of a tropical kind of
Yeah.
feels for the summer. And in the fall we did a peach, which was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
the peaches killed it.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
That
awesome.
was really
man.
good. That was
I
really
know.
good.
I'm not really like a giant fruit beer fan, but
Either am I.
I really like
liked
the
it.
peach one, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, it's just really fun, man. Like it kind of, that kind of ties into what Matt was saying about how, we feel that, if somebody walks through our doors, we want to make sure they find a beer they like. And if they're not a beer drinker, we also have like wine and cider and stuff. But, if somebody walks through the door, we want to be able to, make sure they find a beer that they might like. And that's what the Fruit Salad series is about. It's really about exploring different fruits in a blonde ale base. And, but we are going to be doing some fruited sours coming up soon too. So fruit for a Fruit Salad series will just be like a blonde ale, easy drinking kind of thing with fruit. And then we're going to do some sour ones and maybe a fruited stout too. We had a fruited stout a while ago from another brewery that was very good, and we were talking about maybe doing something like that. So,
So like I heard you say fruited sours. We had a guest on a while ago.
Yeah.
The amount of
information. Shout out to Young Bowski. So we have this
Mr.
buddy of
Bowski.
ours. He lives in California. So he's like this really crazy kind of rad guy.
Okay.
He's super into bowling. He loves craft beer. So
Nice.
literally
Cool,
we
man.
talked about sports and beer for probably like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But he's from the States and he's talking about all these different beers down there and how we should come down and try the beers. And so we'll post beers and stuff. He's like basically like a pen pal of mine from the States. He's so cool. But he talks about beer all the time. What were we gonna say? So
He was talking about sours.
yeah.
So what is a sour?
Yeah, sour beer is pretty cool, man.
He
It's,
wouldn't explain it to me. So
Oh, that's okay, no problem.
Who's that? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bowski. What are you doing?
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Bowski.
Sour beer is really cool, man. It's made with bacteria. So it's a
it's
bacteria.
not a good
that's
time to be
added
talking about bacteria.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Long story short, man, it's just it kind of pickles the beer. Is a good way to think about it. It really makes it. Beer used to be back in the day used to be really sour because it would be the only way to store it for a long time. When you drink it fresh, it would have more of like it tastes today. But back in the day, it used to be more like smoky and more like sour and stuff. So it was really a part of the flavor of beer. And they kind of are a naturally occurring thing. But brewers today add bacteria to their beer to make it sour specifically. And it's lactobacillus, the same kind of thing, same kind of bacteria that they use in yogurt and stuff like that. Yeah.
Should make
Have you tried a sour?
No.
So
Oh, I should've
I'm not a
brought
huge
should've
fan.
brought ours, yeah.
Yeah.
So
we have one.
out of the ones I've tried, I've only tried a couple. My favorite is it Nickelbrook? They have the Zap one. That's my favorite. That's my favorite one so far that I've tried. I'm a little hesitant. I'm not a huge fan. One time, so I was kind of turned off. I went to an LCBO and there was this very hipster-looking fellow who was like, "Yo, man, you should try this beer. It's so good." I'm like, "All right, I'll try a beer. I'm trying anything." Took it home. It was really sour, like hardcore. I was like, ugh. Like, I'm on the fence when it comes to spicy beers. Like super spicy beers and like sour beers, but like it was okay. But I tried that Zap one; it was off the charts. It was really good.
That's great,
really,
man.
really like fresh, but also had that little bit of tartness, not too much. It was a nice balance.
Yeah, our sour right now is more on the tart side than the super sour side.
You probably like ours. if you
Sounds like
it.
I'm coming in to buy some.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, all right.
Yeah, for sure. And we're actually brewing a sour next week. Actually.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I'm trying to lose weight here, guys.
He said that he's like, man, I hope they don't bring anything with them.
I'm doing intermittent fasting, so I only
cool.
eat and drink between like 12 and 8. We're way past that. I'm like, I can't say no to a beer. They're gonna bring beer.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, for sure, man.
cheat a little bit.
Thanks for doing cheat.
Yeah, no
day.
problem. No problem. Wrecking my diet.
Thanks for jumping off the fence on that one.
Yeah, man.
Back on it tomorrow.
That's what it's all about, man. Yeah.
Hashtag
for sure.
see you in the morning.
Yeah. So we're talking about sour beers. Were you asking? What were you asking, Ernie? Well, how they make it?
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
like
like
the
how it's
process and what it's basically consists of. Because he was describing a whole whack of them, and I couldn't believe like the whole different type that he was talking about down there. It just sounded like French to me. I didn't have a clue what he was talking about.
There's 2 different ways to make a sour beer, and one is really, really fast. It takes about a day or two to actually sour the beer. And the other takes about a year and a half. It takes a long time. So if you add the bacteria before the yeast gets a chance to ferment, you can do it really quickly because the bacteria kind of has the hold on the beer. That's all right.
So there was a hair. There was a hair coming down. I was just grabbing it.
Were you having a moment there?
Anyway, sorry.
That's okay, no problem.
He's got to focus on
It's all
his
good.
shit.
Yeah,
No swearing.
long story short, the
Sorry,
other time takes a long time. Usually ages in barrels and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
So, like, when you were doing your schooling, did they kind of teach like a history of like beer? Because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we did take a history of beer class. Actually, yeah.
What is mead?
Mead
When they
is
talk
sick.
about mead.
Yeah, mead's great, man. It's fermented honey. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so they take honey and usually dilute it a little bit because it's really thick, and they they add yeast and nutrients and stuff because honey by itself doesn't have everything it needs for yeast to be able to complete a healthy fermentation. So they usually add like nutrients and stuff the yeast needs and that kind of stuff, and often fruit and spices, and if it's done right, mead is by far in my opinion, one of the most flavorful beverages out there. There's a few producers in the States that really shine through with their meads and what they're able to do, but there's other meads that are very simple, it's almost like very wine-like. It's almost like a white wine when it's all said and done, and it can be carbonated and non-carbonated and sweet or dry or all different kinds of fruits and spices. It's very diverse. Yeah.
So this is gonna be an odd question.
Let's hear it.
What was butterbeer in Harry Potter?
I
don't
have
know.
no idea.
It's magic. It's a
It must
freaking
be
magic.
some sort of something way to get them drunk or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
don't
was
think that's-
butterbeer.
It's a magical. It's a magical.
What would you
fucking-
say by looking at it?
It's a
though? What would you
magical tale. What do you think is gonna happen?
You leave-
So they sell butterbeer actually at the Universal Studios, but it's like more like a drink, not like a beer.
Yeah, it's more of a
It's like
drink, kind of like what it was in the movie.
So
Yeah, that's
if you go
pretty
to
sick.
Starbucks, supposedly they make you a butterbeer. Supposedly.
That's
It just
pretty
looked like a creamy beer, is what it looked like.
Yeah, it looked delicious.
I was just curious if you
Yeah,
might have
yeah.
known
cool.
what it was.
Did they get all like messed up in the books and stuff?
No.
No,
Oh,
they
okay.
get wrecked.
They didn't
Maybe
get
I
plastic.
don't
They
know.
weren't waving wands around.
Can't
They were-
Wouldn't that get a little bit messy? Expect a Patron. Whoa!
Expect
Wrong
your clothes
spell.
off. Show me a wand, Harry Potter.
Okay.
Did you guys? Were you guys into like Harry Potter?
I'm
and
huge
stuff?
Harry Potter.
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
I'm
Oh, cool.
huge
Yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Potter.
Nice,
Books,
nice.
not movies. Books. Gotta
Nice.
get that
I
straight up.
read up till the fourth one when they started getting really big.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm out. I think
Too
that's
much?
a bit too
You're out?
much.
You're out?
I remember I finished the fourth one, but then after that I was like, I can't continue doing.
I read the
big
cover
ones.
of the DVD. That was about as far as it
So
went.
I'm one of those
nice.
people that like book comes out.
Yeah,
I literally.
Yeah. Okay. Good man.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
My girlfriend tries to get me to watch them, and I did make it through a couple,
Yeah.
but that's as far as I went.
What do you watch? What's your thing?
All different stuff, but for some reason the Harry Potter stuff, or more so, I at least gave it a try and I watched a couple movies. The Lord of the Rings thing,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Oh yeah.
I have tried to
What?
watch that first movie about 4 times.
You don't like
Dude, it's
short.
sick.
You don't like short people wandering around aimlessly.
Well, that's just me.
They're hobbits.
Exactly.
This is my life.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Right? I'll take a video of myself lost in Toronto if you'd like.
Yeah, man.
But,
course, bro.
I couldn't do-
Fall asleep every time.
I could do. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I could do the movies, but I couldn't do the books when it comes to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
I can't do the books
I
either.
couldn't do it.
Can't do
man.
the books.
We had to
Heavy.
read them in school, and I always just skipped over them. Man. I just
Yeah.
used to
I never read
those.
the books.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings, I'm always a movie guy. But Harry Potter, I was one of those guys that like went out, bought the book that day, sat down, read the entire thing.
Yeah,
That's
I
sick,
did
man.
hear the books
Yeah.
are much better.
They're awesome.
Yeah, I read a few of those. They're
Maybe
pretty
one
good,
day.
I did the braille.
Yeah.
I feel something bad's coming.
Voldemort. And
Oh my god.
Star Wars, man. I'm a big Star Wars
Huge.
guy.
Yeah,
So
huge.
I can get
Yeah.
behind stuff.
Can you get behind that?
Star Wars is sick.
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I watched that.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Matt and I were talking about that recently.
what's
yeah.
up.
I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't seen Mandalorian?
No,
It's
sir.
good, man. They actually do a few things too that kind of expand the Star Wars universe a little bit with like banter back and forth.
I
and
keep seeing that fucking
other
baby Yoda.
stuff and
Tatooine.
Baby Yoda and yeah,
They're on
like,
Tatooine.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's really cool to see how Disney has kind of like expanded the universe a little bit.
I hope they
Than the
can keep that
movies and
same
stuff.
tone. Like
Yeah.
compared to like the last 2 movies, people aren't too keen on it. But the tone of Mandalorian's a lot like the first couple movies, which is like what people are. That's their jam.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Lucas was involved in the Mandalorian and not so much the other people that were doing the other newer movies. Like I just don't think it's. I don't know. The newer movies are very like they feel like they're taking like a social stance and they're taking like they're taking.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of a bit more broad.
Than the middle movies, though.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like Solo and all that, like those ones?
No. I'm talking
Like,
yeah. I am talking like so
Yeah.
like
I didn't see that.
the Rise of Skywalker and what is it? The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi and
Yeah, the
Last
first couple
Skywalker,
ones,
whatever it
man.
was.
Yeah.
Like
The Rise of
That's a
Skywalker.
Clone Wars.
episode with.
Jar Jar Binks and stuff.
Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace.
Yeah, Phantom
Yeah,
Menace.
man.
Yeah, that's just,
Yo, there's this big theory that's on the
He's
internet
a
that's really
Sith
cool
Lord.
about that he's a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
And how
I think
George
I saw-
Lucas was
I think
gonna
I saw
make
that.
him be
Yeah.
like the evil dude throughout the whole thing.
Silly.
And, but it makes sense, man. If you watch those videos,
I
man,
just-
you're like,
yeah.
this is the way it was going, and they decided to change it
Yeah.
because that's the
Rightfully
way.
so.
That would have been
Totally, man.
awesome.
It would've been sick, though,
That would
yeah.
have been good writing. That would have been awesome writing.
He would have been behind the whole thing, man.
the whole thing. But
Jar
I didn't
Binks.
watch the new movies. Have you guys seen the newest one?
Dude,
Rise
I
of
haven't seen the
Skywalker.
newest one. I haven't seen the
The
latest.
newest one is sick.
Yeah?
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. And the beginning, dude. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
The beginning, you'll be like, what? Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
real. Yeah,
I'm gonna pirate.
I gotta
I'm not
watch
gonna
it again,
pirate
man.
it. Never mind. I'm gonna watch it.
We don't pirate things here at the PM&A podcast.
Yeah,
we
we
don't.
don't have Android boxes.
Whatever he does is on his own.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it should be on Disney Plus in a few days, too.
Yeah.
Or not a few days, a few months.
Yeah, Disney
Will they
Plus.
release those right away on Disney Plus?
No, they wait a bit.
Do they?
Yeah,
So it's
they
just
wait a
kind of
bit,
like what they
yeah.
would do like with Netflix when it releases. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I know. I want to watch the beginning again, man. It was so sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to just binge watch. Sometimes I'll just go back and watch movies, just like sit and do like I'm going to do a marathon today and just run through the Star Wars movies. Love it. It's just so cool to see, like, I don't know what brings people in with it, but it's like, it's just fun
Yeah, it makes
and
no
it's
sense,
exciting,
but
but
it's
it's like, man, I want to be a Jedi. What's up?
Mhm.
You know, I'll probably like burn my hand off with a lightsaber like 2 seconds in, but
Like, it kind of is cool. I wish you could just, like, kind of...
yeah, the
Come here and
Force.
you just do
Yeah,
it.
man, you be like, you can
You guys can't do that?
I'm born that way.
So, would you make? Sorry, go right back into it.
Yep.
Would you guys make a mead? Are you allowed to? Are you allowed to make mead?
We're not allowed to, no. It's under a wine license in Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to have a certain acreage of bees and this kind of thing.
What?
I know there are more meaderies that are being developed now, and I'm not sure if the rules have changed or are changing. But there was a certain amount of like beehives you had to have under your own possession and these kind of things. And in what right scenario is that possible?
Could
And-
you
Yeah.
have beehives, just no bees, just say you suck at it?
You cut them a bunch in the trees and stuff. They're just doing their thing. And
They're up there. I don't know. They won't come.
Yeah, you're welcome to come check them out if you want. They're up there. Yeah. Yeah. So there's. So weird, man.
I got a whole bunch of bee porn hung up there. They just won't come in.
I don't know what's happening. Yeah, man, it's really weird, man.
Oh my God, Ernie!
But there are
Christ.
a few meteors that are popping up right now that are really doing really interesting stuff, and
Yeah.
they're, you know, I'm not sure how they're figuring out the government kind of side of things, but you know, all the power to them, man. I think you've got the power to change it. Let's make some interesting beverages, right?
So,
Yeah.
people are always saying, like, I remember growing up, people saying like Canadian beer is stronger than American beer. Was that like a thing? Like, is there like a law that we're allowed to have stronger beer than the States?
No, in some states, you don't have to label the alcohol at all on the label.
Oh.
And others, they label by alcohol by weight, not alcohol by volume. And they're
Oh.
two different measurements.
Okay.
So it might say 3.2% alcohol by weight, but it might be like 4.2 or something like that. you know?
I never really got. Sorry, I didn't.
No, no.
I never really got. the
Nobody wants to hear
whole-
me talk, so
I never really got the whole Canadian stronger beer thing because it's untrue. I've
Yeah, I
never
think
seen
it's just
that.
a myth.
I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and I think our beer just at the time was a little stronger than their lighter beers, and I think when, you know, it might be 4% in the States, might be 5% in Canada, kind of thing, depending on how the bigger brewers were kind of deciding to
Market
for their
or
markets
whatever,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like I think
Yeah,
we
that
might
might be
like
true.
stronger stuff up here too, especially in the
Colder
winter time
months.
and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. We do like a bit of a stronger beer, so. But down in the States, man, with craft beer, it's completely all over the place. When you can have a 1% to up to, I've had up to 15, 18,
What?
20% beers. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, for
Whoa.
sure.
And you can buy that at the corner store probably.
Some of them you can,
Oh,
man.
geez,
Yeah, I have
States,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
man. Yeah, there's a few good beers down
That's
there.
the
that are
strongest
really-
beer you've ever had? 18? What was it?
Yeah, I've had beer that's been freeze distilled, so I guess you can count it as an extra step. That's up to 25, 30, 40%. But I've
Whoa.
had beer that's been naturally fermented with yeast without any sort of extra step. I think it was 18 or 19%. Yeah.
Was it dark?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was an imperial stout. Yeah.
Is that like a thing? The darker the beer, like, so the stronger the beer, the darker the beer. Is that a thing? Like,
I think they're very correlated, right? Like
Yeah.
they kind of
Not
pair very well.
necessarily,
Yeah.
but the the way stouts are brewed, the high alcohol percentage is well received with the ingredients.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big chocolate coffee roasty stout.
Mm-hmm.
The alcohol percentage, if it's higher, you don't get it as much. Like it,
Yeah.
Like it kind of harmonizes
kind
in
of
its own
harmonizes
way.
with
Yeah.
those styles, but
Mhm.
not necessarily. I mean, our stouts
what
really
is it,
easy
four-
drinking at four
4.5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and we want to do an imperial stout coming up soon. Yeah, we're thinking maybe closer to the fall we'll do a big batch and
Imperial
Do
Stout.
like
What is
10,
put an
12%
Imperial
or something.
Fighter on the label?
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
Got
See,
to.
so imperial stout. What does that mean? I've never heard of that.
Imperial means strong, just
Okay,
stronger.
just that's the way of saying it.
Yeah, if somebody says something is a double or stronger,
Which is like this is a double IPA.
yeah, or imperial, it basically
it could
means
be
like a
labeled
stronger.
imperial IPA, but
It's cooler to put double.
how
Yeah,
double is a little bit more current, a little bit more modern.
Yeah.
Imperial IPA is a little bit more of an old school approach to labeling it. that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Kind of
Yeah.
sounds better saying it's an imperial stout. Sounds cooler for a
Yeah.
stout.
Yeah.
Double IPA. It's like rad. You know what I mean? Like
there's a few
Yeah.
stouts that people call double stouts too that are not as quite as high as an imperial stout, maybe like 6.5, 7. There's also 4 and extra stout too, which is what they used to call stouts they used to export, which were higher alcohol from like the UK and stuff. So they there's different like levels of categories, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's all just like delicious beer and different strengths of the alcohol in the beer, yeah, and the other associated body and flavor and viscousness and stuff that can happen at the higher alcohol levels and stuff.
Speaking of, I feel bad. I'm the only person that chugged my beer.
Oh, yo,
listen,
we got
listen.
some more actually.
I'm
There you go, open them out.
yeah, crack it, man.
You sure?
Yeah. Oh no, you brought
We
them.
need a topic.
No, I'm good. I'm
You good?
gonna keep it to one beer.
Actually, I'll leave this to you guys. You guys can check that
I'll
out.
get that to my wife. She would
Yeah.
be stoked.
No,
to
you
drink
won't.
That. Yeah. My wife would be stoked. Actually,
Does
sorry.
she like IPAs and stuff?
Loves it.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Top up?
You know what? You guys are here.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it.
Waymaker Brewery's here. I got a drink.
C'est la vie, diet.
Cheers.
There you go, brother.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for the beer.
We'll have to
You're
grab
welcome.
some before UFC tomorrow.
Was that?
I said we'll have to go grab some before UFC tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're open at noon.
Yeah, man. I gotta take it easy. I'm like 15 pounds down.
You're
I'm
already
doing good.
down.
I'm doing
Oh,
good.
congrats,
That's
man.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
like I've been sleeping better. Like
How much are you down?
15 pounds. Yeah.
That's awesome,
Is
bro.
that empty pockets?
What's that?
Empty pockets?
No.
Like you're standing on your underwear?
Just
on
ready to
the-
rock and roll. I'm just like I'm wake up ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's strictly just from cutting back on.
Just eating clean.
Yeah?
Just eating just strictly clean.
That's
Getting
it.
rid of salt, sugar, bread. Just eating veggies and fruit. Really,
Mm-hmm.
just making a big salad. Ernie's been seeing my Instagram post.
That's annoying.
Just salad. I posted twice.
I know.
But just like just eating clean, and
Like,
I find I
That's great.
sleep better, which is important for me. I need sleep for work, and I
Oh, you're grumpy as fuck when you don't get
just
your
in
sleep.
general I'm grumpy when I'm still asleep. So sleep's so important because like if you lose sleep, like you don't realize that the amygdala kicks in and you start taking over
The what?
your amygdala in your brain takes over, and you start using your more emotional side to deal with conflict and problem solving, and you're not really thinking clearly. So sleep's
Yeah, man.
important.
Sleep's
man.
super important.
Super
yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Learned that from a Joe Rogan podcast.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Shout out Joe Rogan.
Listening to
Yeah, he's not good.
Mr. Rogan today.
He's not listening.
Which one were you listening to?
Adam Curry, who
I'm okay.
Podfather invented podcasts.
Yeah.
I
he did.
got a
for
little
real.
bit through that one. I was kind of like, oh, he's.
You know what? I hear you. It got better.
Did it really?
It did
Oh,
get
okay.
better. I kind of
It
thought the
was
same thing. When I
frickin'
first
slow.
turned it on, but
Oh,
It did get better.
He doesn't like the ones where you have to think about them though. He likes the ones that are like hilarious but informal.
Yeah.
Like there's the sleep
Yeah.
doc that came on. I tried listening to that. Ernie and I were gonna go get donuts in Hamilton one day. He's just like, "This has got to go. We can't listen to it."
No.
Some of them get pretty far out.
Oh,
I
boy,
actually
yeah, it's
really
crazy.
like
Yeah,
those
man.
ones.
I like the
the-
NASA ones, the NASA guys.
Yeah, man.
Did you guys
yeah.
listen to that guy? That was hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like,
And what's the other guy? The guy from Life Below Zero.
oh, yeah. What was his name? Oh, shoot.
Nate or Nick or
I can't remember. But you guys ever watched that
Pete?
show on Netflix, Life of Zero?
No.
No.
Oh man, so
Brady.
It's like Pete
No,
or Brad or.
it's not the guy that
I'll
walked
do it. I'll do
across
it. I'll do it.
Antarctica.
I'll do it.
I can Google it. Or you want me not to take off?
Oh, look what you did.
Oh, it's back on.
You
Don't worry.
ruined it.
It's back on.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Like he was going off the story about wolves,
Getting attacked by
That's pretty
wolves,
sick.
like a pack of wolves.
That's crazy.
like a 20 pack of wolves.
Do you guys
Fought 'em
listen?
off and stuff?
Yeah, well, so he was living up there. He was living up there, and so he would go down to the ice where they were eating this like elk, and he was taking photos. And then the wolves started realizing there was like somebody over there, so they started running at him. And so he would run back into his like shed and like hide away from them, and then they would run back out into the ice and then like start eating this elk again. Then he would go back out, and then it got to the point where he didn't realize what was going on. He had to pull out his rifle and start like hammering them off. Like
Shit.
yeah. He was getting like attacked by
Glenn
Villeneuve.
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 Yeah.
that was his
Oh,
last
that's
name.
cool.
Yeah, so he's a hunter. Hang on, he's a hunter, fisherman, and TV personality. Best known for appearing in Life Below Zero. His story was really cool because he went off about how like the production side of it wanted him to do, go out and do this and do that, and he's just like, that's not what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
at all. He's like,
Yeah.
if you want a TV show, okay, but that's not what I do. And when he went into the stories like about what he did and how he did them like his own way and how he wanted to suffer a little bit, like it was amazing. And yeah, that wolf story was if you haven't heard it, you definitely
That's
gotta listen
cool.
to it.
Yeah,
listen
I'll
to
look
that
it up.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys
that's
do
great.
podcasts in general? You listen to podcasts?
Other than ours, of course.
I'm a.
I have.
Yeah, Matt's
I
a
have
podcast
listened
guy,
To quite a few episodes of your guys now.
Thanks, man. Isn't
well,
that
since
see?
we found out we were
Yeah, man.
going on? And
I was
Gotta
having a rough
research, yeah.
day. today.
Bernie's having a rough day.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
listened
man.
to a few episodes for sure, and
Awesome.
we'll continue to listen.
Thanks,
But,
man.
Check out Melissa.
Who's Melissa?
Oh, you'll see.
We'll find that out. Yeah.
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Cool,
And
man.
In fact, I do while I work.
Yeah.
quite a bit. So
Yeah.
Me
It's-
too. Me
yep.
too. All day.
brewing
yeah.
is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
People that brew are very passionate about it, and therefore it makes it fun. But it's the work itself is very
Tedious?
You're a glorified janitor.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
if you're on sticker duty, I imagine Rogan would help make sticker
Yeah,
duty
it's a
go a
lot
whole
of-
lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or if you
that
got-
would be rad.
Or
be
if you got to
doing
go
some-
outside to check
yeah.
the bees, take the lines off.
See how much honey you got going on. Yeah, man.
Okay, John Rogan.
Where did they go?
Go to Snobby.
Where's all the bees?
Where the fuck did the bees go? We suck at this.
Then you put Joe Rogan on the speakers, and then all
Right,
the
they
beats
all
come
go
out right
back.
back.
They
man.
go
Yeah,
back. That's what
Oh
it
my
is.
god, Ernie.
Yeah, it's sick. So there is some opportunities at the brewery for us to put on like some audio and stuff, and
That's
kind
rad,
of rock
man.
our stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
nice.
it's cool.
Probably feels cool working for yourself too, like that, and being
Yeah, it's pretty
passionate about
sweet.
it too.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man. Like we can kind of just do what we feel is right. If we don't feel like making anything that week, we don't. And sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. And sometimes we make something easy drinking. And other times they're super bold and flavorful and fun. And other times it's more traditional. And it's kind of just what we feel like doing at the time. Yeah.
For sure.
So our barber, he was just opening up basically a bar service at his place.
Barber Pole and Co.
Barber Pole and Co.
Yeah,
Highway
man.
24.
My cousin Jason is a barber there.
Yeah, I know.
So I go
Oh,
there.
no Jason
way.
was my football coach. When I was
Yeah,
growing up.
man. Yeah, Jason. He's at the brewery right now. Actually,
Oh, wow.
I just saw him.
Just
Yeah.
like hammering back beers.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's he lived out of town for a while, but he moved back to town. He's at the barber pole now.
Yeah, he lived in Barrie, right?
Yeah, he lived
Yeah.
in Barrie for a while, and
He's the big guy with
Yeah.
the tattoos,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna go to him if Tony was busy the one day.
He's
highly recommend,
he's good.
man.
Yeah,
Jason's
he's
really good, man. He does all of our. Do you go to Jason now?
Well, Yeah, actually,
We'll
my
see.
hair grew back, but I actually picked my head. So.
Oh right, yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
do
about that.
Me
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh,
Usually I
yeah.
look like you.
Yeah, man, that's sick. Yeah, that's
Well, you
sick.
don't want to look like him.
Yeah. Why?
That's why the bees don't come back over here. He used to have bees too.
Yeah, have you ever tried a straight razor shave by them? Scary, right?
No, but I
did,
have. I usually.
Under here,
Yeah,
and
I used to
Jay
get
does
one. I used to get one once a year.
Shout out to Tony.
So I would grow a beard all year,
Yep.
and then straight razor, like clean shave, straight
Oh,
razor
yeah.
off, and then start all over again. But I haven't done that.
You should try it out.
I've like kept it,
Yeah.
kind of.
Do you do it yourself?
Who does your beard?
Jay.
Oh,
Now,
Jay does it. Yeah.
But,
I can't do my own because as soon as I
I
go
don't trust
short
myself.
and then right, and it goes short and then short and then it's gone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tried a few barbers in town before I connected back with Jay, and it was when you have the beard, you got to find the right barber,
Yeah.
or else if they don't know
They
like
fuck
what you
it up.
like,
They
or they
fuck it
fuck
up.
it
They're
up. And
butchering.
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
that's why I shaved my big one off too, because I went to a barber and it was like really flat, and then it was just out, and
Yeah.
it was
Like
like
a
they didn't
home
fade it in. And it
Yeah.
just
Tony or
wasn't very
Jason?
good, yeah.
Those-
Jay,
Yeah.
Jay
Yeah,
did a
man.
great
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, Jay knows his
I need
stuff.
to get it done again. It's getting a bit.
Looks awesome.
Scraggly,
Are you kidding
but-
me?
But
Looks sick.
yeah, the first time I got my hair cut by Jay, I didn't let him do my beard.
Yeah,
You feel
it's scary.
nervous.
Show,
It's
yeah.
a big deal.
Yes.
Right?
It's a
And
big
you-
deal.
Yes.
And it doesn't
There's a lot
matter
of
if he
trust
does.
in that relationship.
Yeah, and it
Either
doesn't
is.
matter if he does a good job or not. I'm always mad. I'm just like, fuck, I did it way too short again.
I know.
So
Yeah, you got to find the right.
I
the
had
right,
nightmares.
style.
I had nightmares about letting someone else
Beard
trim
mares.
it.
Beard mares.
Beard mares, and like
Yeah.
someone like, meh. Like I'm like, oh my god, because like for a while there, like our beards are actually shorter when they usually are. Like Ernie's was like double the size.
Yeah, it was
before.
about here.
Yeah, mine was
Oh,
like
nice.
down here for a while.
Sweet.
And the wife was like, maybe not so much. Anyway, so
And I started doing weddings too, so I'm like,
gotta look a little bit
gotta look a little
professional.
presentable.
Like, so I work with people and I take them out and take them to doctor's appointments. And sometimes I walk up and they think I'm the person who needs help because I look like I'm a homeless guy. But yeah. So Tony does such a great job. But anyway, I've had
for
like
sure.
nightmares where like people are like trimming my beard. I'm like, okay, things are too much. Like I'm like thinking about this way too much. It's not that complicated, but
Have you ever shaved it off and immediately
regretted it.
hated your life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure, I did it. Man.
at his Stag and Doe.
Listen to this story.
So we auctioned off my beard at Jeremy's Stag and Doe. So it was we had a jar, and it was people to help support me keep the beard, and then other people to say chop it off. So believe it or not,
You know how
everybody
that- you know how
voted.
that's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go.
it did
yeah,
not go
for
well.
sure.
Mom and Nana were just like, no, it's gone. So we went up there, and I decided that I was going to leave about that much, maybe just about a quarter of an inch left, and I wanted to have a little bit left, but not all the way down. Kind of like what you have, maybe a little bit
Yeah.
shorter,
Yeah.
just so it looked a little bit more like you still see flesh tone.
Yeah,
underneath.
so it's you still have a beard, but it's
Right,
not
but it wasn't
like
as dark. It wasn't
yeah.
as full as yours right now.
Yeah, cool.
So this, can I say the word?
Nana's listening.
This drunk, see you next Tuesday. Grab the clippers, takes the guard off.
Ernie didn't see
That
it.
I
We
had
didn't see
said.
it. We didn't
But,
see it.
but I can't see it. My eyes are closed because I'm like, no, pretending, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, because they're not going to take it all the way off, and all I hear, I'm like, ooh, this is feeling
That's
really close.
Really close.
And all of a sudden, I open my eyes, I go to look in the
No. The way it happened was she trimmed it all off, and then Ernie went to the bathroom, and he looked like he had lost his firstborn child. He was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah, man.
Been there.
I'm gonna murder.
It's a hard
this,
feeling, man.
I'm gonna murder this bitch.
this lady, this pad lady."
It's like you put so much time and effort into it, and
Yeah.
you want to make it
And
look
beard
good,
cream.
and it feels good,
Yeah.
and you got the creams and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty sick. But yeah.
It's got a really nice consistency. Like it goes on really
Do
easily
you know?
too.
So the way you
Okay.
apply that is literally just put like enough to go on like the tip of your thumb,
Yep.
and then just rub it in between your fingers,
What?
and then from the bottom. What do you do?
you take that, you go finger, and you go.
No!
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that stuff goes
So-
in.
just get right in there.
Yeah, wow.
I've
Too
used
much.
beard cream before.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
excited to.
It is real, and it smells nice too.
I've only I only just tested it. That's like a brand new bottle. It's not like I've been like
Oh, here we go.
Rubbing it on.
no.
Yeah.
It does smell good.
Yeah. Always bearded.
Very cool.
That's right. .com.
Always bearded, man. That's what's up.
Sick.
It's a good
You
product.
do
But
a very
anyway,
good job.
so back to what I was trying to say.
Okay.
No. So Tony was talking about getting some maybe local breweries to facilitate his bar. Is that something that you guys do?
Yes, we're in talks with him right now.
How are you?
And,
Oh, no way!
Jay, yeah. So yeah, Jay's my cousin
Yeah.
and was really excited when Tony decided to put a bar in the barbershop, and so I hear it's done now. The bar is made, and
week-
it's,
I
So-
just
it's been
saw it out there.
approved
It
and
looks
everything.
close. Yeah,
As of-
everything's approved.
As of
yeah.
Everything's
today,
approved and
it's a week
everything,
away,
so-
I think.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
that's sick. So
But just so everybody knows, you have to buy a haircut, and then
Yeah,
you can
it's
buy
not a
beer.
bar.
So
It's
don't,
not
it's
a
not a
bar.
bar.
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to. But if you're a local guy like us, you can just go in. Maybe just grab a beer.
Yeah,
That's what Tony told me anyway.
yeah, man, that's great. And,
No,
and
he did
is
not.
Open to,
No, he did not. Yeah, that's right.
and he's open to having craft beer and stuff like that too, and
That's rad.
and wants to support the industry and stuff. So I feel
Yeah, I
like
heard
we're
him
going to be doing
talking
some stuff
about
in the
that,
future.
so-
Dude,
yeah.
I had
for
one of your
sure.
beers at Cambridge Restaurant.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, that's where I had the Christmas
yeah,
one.
they
is,
approached
yeah.
us actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah.
They. I didn't realize they were selling beer. I usually go in there for breakfast when I was
Love
growing
their
up, and
breakfast.
their breakfast is great. And they do dinners and stuff too. They do chicken wings and all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to, the wings are supposed to be really good, and
Everything's good
And,
there, man.
yeah,
Shout out
it's
to
so
Cambridge
good.
Restaurant. I
Cambridge
asked you to come to the
Restaurant.
podcast. Come on out.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in talks with them doing a few different events at the
Bring
brewery,
eggs.
and they want to do some stuff. Yeah. So we like connecting with local restaurants like
I
that.
think that's
where
so
they- yeah.
cool. I think that's so
Speaking
cool.
of, have you guys tried Sauce Boss yet?
No.
Yeah, South Boss.
No.
They're on King Street in Preston.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sauce Boss.
Yeah,
I just
Connor.
had it for dinner tonight, to be honest. And they're also doing our 1 year
Yes.
anniversary party as well. So
Yeah, they're providing
And that's
providing
on
the food
that's on
for the
Saturday,
anniversary
right?
party.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this podcast will probably come out the next Friday after that, but
that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Either
cool.
way, check
Yeah,
out
yeah.
Sauce Boss.
We'll promote
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
promote it though.
Sauce Boss
Yeah.
is
There's
sick,
a lot
man.
of, like,
Really, yeah.
it's like good
dudes
pulled
and stuff.
pork.
He's got awesome pulled pork.
Yeah.
we've
Really?
had the pulled pork at the brewery before. Actually,
We've had,
It
yeah.
was
We
really, really
kind
good.
of he provides it for us, and
I had the
Wow.
In
buffalo
bulk,
chicken,
and we
mac and cheese
split it up.
tonight. It's,
What?
Not
What-
exactly healthy, but
What time does
amazing.
What time does this event start?
it's noon until late. So
I can bring the little ones.
you
You
can
can't bring the little ones to a
Why?
brewery.
always, yeah, man.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's
He's
actually
the owner,
very common.
I guess. So
Yeah, it's pretty common, man. Yeah, a lot of families
She's not
come
gonna
on by.
drink,
Yeah.
you dick.
no. I know. Just, I don't know.
Well, you know, we got
Cool.
board games and stuff. You know, it's a good actually
We can
at the
come
brewery
get
on
food.
the.
That's what I'm thinking.
Chips,
You
food,
can
Food
too.
in.
Yeah, we do chips and dip.
Yeah.
And we do we've got grilled cheese now, which is very popular, and warm pretzels and stuff. So we've expanded the food menu a little bit. Yeah, they taste great. And at the brewery tonight, there was a family just chilling there and playing some board games and stuff. And so it's very like inclusive and very open to anybody that wants to come.
I was at a bar in Guelph for a birthday party, and they what they did was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was actually that one you were talking about. It's like some chocolate milk fucking thing or some.
The chocolate milk stout from
It was like a
man.
boot.
I
It had
can't
to have a
remember.
boot on it.
was Wellington.
Yeah, it must have
been
Wellington.
Wellington, yeah.
So they rent out that place for like birthday parties and stuff like that. Is that something you guys are maybe thinking about doing?
Yeah, we do. We have had some private parties in the
Oh, really?
past, and but we also do some public parties too, where some people are saying like, yeah, we want to have our own food and our own like thing going on, but we don't want it. Everybody's welcome. So if the locals want to come by too, that's totally cool too. And we've had some private parties which we shut down the brewery for
So
that
like a
party
bachelor
and kind of
party
thing.
or like a birthday party?
We have actually had a bachelor party come through
Oh,
one
seriously?
time. Yeah, it was sick.
So sick.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was around the time when we opened, and a lot of the guys that came to our opening were like, "Hey, man, I'm getting married in a couple months. I want to do my party here." So it was
were
pretty cool.
those the guys that made shirts?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. They had
I
Hawaiian
remember
shirts
these
on. I
guys-
remember these dudes.
Oh,
Was that a
okay.
different one?
Yeah, maybe it was
Yeah.
a brewery tour crew, but they actually made shirts.
Yeah.
That, all the breweries they were going to that day,
Yeah.
they made shirts and had all
Sweet.
their logos on the back and
No
stuff.
way!
That's so
including
cool,
ours,
man.
which was really neat.
That's
I
rad.
thought
Yeah.
it was a cool idea.
Oh man.
Yeah, we
I
get a
thought
lot
it
of
was
bus
bachelor
tours.
party too. It might have
Yeah, it
been.
might have been. Yeah. We've got a lot of different parties coming through and bus tours and that kind of thing, and it's really a great chance to hit up some local breweries from a town you might not be from. If you're not familiar with breweries in Hamilton or Ottawa or Toronto, there's a lot of like these companies that kind of curate and help you kind of get around from place to place safely, and usually a food stop or two along the way, and lots of try new beers, and down in Niagara too, they do brewery and winery
The wine
tours, so
tours,
they
yeah.
kind of do little hybrids where they mix them both together and stuff. And
Yeah, like I've never seen that before. I wondered if maybe that, like when you were doing the course, if you might have seen that when you were in the States. Like, is that like really big down there? Like I've only ever seen one like that, the Wellington one. But is that big down in the States? Is that something that happens? Like you see that
For
more
sure.
often down there than here?
For sure. I feel
That's
that
interesting.
it's kind of growing up here too. We have someone that organizes brewery tours in Hamilton that wants to start doing more up here in Cambridge. So, and
Yeah.
a few people have approached us about organizing a bus tour kind of thing. So there's definitely interest out there. It's just finding make sure that
Insurance, I
everybody wants
bet
to make
too,
sure to
right?
do it and stuff. Yeah. It's kind of a big undertaking, but Guelph did a really cool thing this last summer, which was all the breweries were participating in it was like a hop on, hop off bus tour that was going around
no
on
way.
every
That's cool.
Saturday.
Kind of
or
like a
whatever it
bar
was.
hop without having to hop.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
nice.
you kind of just get on and off when you feel, and it was kind of like a brewery to brewery to brewery, and it was kind of a promoting
That's
Guelph
rad.
breweries as a whole, which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is cool.
I was gonna-
Especially-
sorry, go ahead. No,
I,
go ahead.
I was going to say, especially in Cambridge, something like that could really work because
For sure.
there's quite a few breweries, and you could certainly make a day of it.
For sure, and every brewery is different in town too, so it's really cool to see like everybody's got their own thing and their own stuff going on. So it's really cool to see when you go from brewery to brewery, it's not all the same stuff. It's different beers, different styles, different
Different everything,
vibes,
yeah.
different
Yeah.
tap rooms, different spaces and stuff. So it's really cool to go from brewery to brewery and see what each one's about and finding one you like.
Would you guys ever be offered to do like, I don't know if like are weddings big into craft brewery as well?
100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the last brewery I worked for, Old Flame, was very prominent in weddings. Yeah, they did a lot of people approached them to do
Wow.
weddings and stuff in a brewery
Wow.
and stuff. So they had a lot in the summertime where they would shut down for the Saturday night or whatever.
That'd be
and then-
awesome.
yeah. And so we've had a few people approach us about doing that kind of thing, and we actually had an engagement happen in the brewery a while ago
Sweet.
too. That
No way.
shout out Ryan and Kirsten. Yeah, that was Kirsten. Yeah, it
That's
was really
rad,
cool.
man.
It was it was really cool to have that somebody got the proposal happened in our brewery space. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was neat.
Did they ask if they could do it with the bees?
Yeah, with the bees.
So,
Yeah.
with all the local breweries, is there like competition between breweries, like straight up?
No, I don't feel that there's.
Because I don't feel like
there's
there is. I think you guys are like bros. Like the guys at Jackass Brewery, like they're just. I love those guys. Those
Yeah,
guys
they're
are
the
straight
best,
up,
man. Yeah,
awesome
they're
I played with them
dudes.
last night.
Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome dudes.
they're
They make
sick,
some
yeah.
good beer, and
Yeah, I like
it's
them a
cool
lot.
because like sometimes I'll fill up my fridge with both your guys' beer, and I'm like, this is like a nice. This is unity.
Do you pretend they fight?
No.
Do you put like
No.
a little referee
No.
in between?
Yeah,
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Because I started because Jackass opened up before you guys, right? Jackass Brewery opened up
They
before
did,
you
yeah,
guys.
about
so
a
I
year
was
before,
so I was
yeah.
over there doing like getting. I had their whatever it is, the big jug or whatever, whatever it's called. So I'd be going back and forth, and I'd be like, "This is so awesome." And it wasn't until like maybe I've only been to Four Fathers once. I tried out their beers; they're pretty good. But so, what is that like? What's the community like?
Where's Forefathers?
It's in Galt. Oh, Hespler. Sorry, it's
Yeah, in
It's
Hespler.
behind Ernie's Roadhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out Ernie's too, man. Ernie's
Oh,
is a
yeah.
great spot to
Yeah,
go.
I got
to
a really
town.
nice spot out there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, Ernie's is great, man. Yeah, they are a big supporter of us, and yeah, it's awesome.
That's rad.
The cool thing about the industry is we're a lot of us are friends, and I don't just mean like friendly. I mean friends.
Yeah.
Like we hang out, we have beers, we talk about our beers. It is a very tight knit industry, and it's a very small industry. Even as big as it's getting,
Yeah.
it's still pretty small when you think about it. So, yeah, as far as its competition, I mean, I guess to a certain degree, it's unrealistic to say it's not because you're selling the same product or
Yeah.
a similar product. So I guess there is a competition aspect of it, but it's not seen that way, and it's certainly not. It doesn't come through that way at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not like you're
everybody
dealing
wants
with a
to-
city of 100 though, right? Like you've got like Kitchener, you got Guelph, you got Waterloo,
sure.
you got Woodstock, you got friggin' Aberfoyle. Like,
For sure. And everyone does different stuff, and everyone has a different approach, and that's what's cool about this industry.
Yeah,
And,
it's awesome.
Brand loyalty, to a certain degree, isn't like what it used to be. Like, so,
Right?
for
Yeah.
example, my dad would drink Canadian.
Yep.
And he was a Canadian
Yep.
drinker, and he would go to the beer store and
Yep.
buy a 2-4 Canadian, and that's what
That's all he bought.
Didn't veer away from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He does now, but
Yeah.
it's not like that anymore.
Nope.
And that's the
Yeah.
fun part about
That's
the
rad.
craft beer industry
Yeah.
is that you obviously want your customers to be loyal, and you want them to come back, and you want them to support you, but the truth of the matter is they're gonna check out other places, and that's the fun.
Yeah, and Jackass had their anniversary party last weekend, which was
yeah.
a lot of fun. And my girlfriend and I went over and had some beers and stuff, and tried some of their new stuff, and it was great.
how are their
And,
bees doing?
How their beers?
They,
Their beers
they
are good.
have a
man.
great honey beer.
They actually
They're-
do a honey
honey
beer.
beer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honey
really?
beer.
Really?
Honey beer.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Honey
funny.
beer,
Yeah,
it's
it's a good beer. It's
Yeah.
like my favorite beer there.
That's funny.
Their honeybee
So
beer.
it's really cool to see. Like every time I go over there, there's always customers that come to our place as well, and they just happen to feel like a Jackass that day versus a Wavemaker or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's really cool to. We have a lot of the same customer base, and
Yep.
everyone kind of bounces around on their own feeling, and it's really cool to kind of all kind of work together to promote a good industry as a whole.
So where did you come up with the name Wavemaker?
Yeah, that was a cool story, man. I quit my job at Old Flame, and I was a little down and not sure how it was gonna go about, but I knew I wanted to start my own brewery, and so I was talking to my younger brother at the time, and he said, "Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? If you were gonna do something, what's gonna make it different?" And at the time, I was like, well, I'm not too sure specifics yet, but I want the beers to make waves on their own. I want them to kind of stand out based off of the beer and not off of a gimmick of some kind, like it's Cambridge Brewing Company, or it's about, even though I'm proud to be from Cambridge and the town and the history, I don't want it to be about something other than the beer. I want it to put the focus on what's in the glass and not what's, other stuff. And so I want the beers to make waves on their own, and he picked that out of our conversation, and I started using it on our documents and stuff for my business plan, and I started writing it out, and the more I heard it, like the more I liked it. So it was really cool to have it develop. And then this logo was developed by Him and Her, which is in Kitchener. It's a husband and wife graphic design agency that they have a big team now, and they've got a big space, and so shout out to them. They did a great job with the logo and helped us develop a brand. And at the time, we were also starting a distillery at the same time, which was very exciting. However, it was a little, with the government regulations and the amount of funding we had available,
not
we
the
weren't
logo.
able to pursue it. So the and distillery is still in motion, but as of right now, we've got a lot on the go at the moment.
I was
But,
going to ask
yeah.
that.
But
I
the
asked-
distillery allows you, like, even having it on there allows you growth, right?
So,
For sure, yeah. And we have about maybe about 2,000 square feet of unutilized space in our same building that we hope to do some distilling and or some blending and that kind of stuff in that space with different spirits and whiskeys and all that kind of stuff.
gins.
Gins, I love gin. Gin's my
It's your
my,
jam?
my number one liquor, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's really cool to try different stuff, and we feel that could be a lot of fun to explore in the future. We're a few years away from that, but I think it's something we're going to work
Still,
actively
though.
towards.
Yeah.
Because isn't gin the fastest liquor you can make? Or vodka?
Yeah, vodka and gin are very
Yeah,
quick. Yeah,
because whiskey takes a little bit of time. It's minimum 5 years, right? To make a
yeah,
good whiskey.
3 years.
3 years in a barrel in Canada.
Yeah.
Called whiskey.
So
Yeah.
that's like future plans for Wavemaker, like whiskeys and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh.
if we are going to be doing it, I want it to be like longer age spirits. Like I'd
Yeah.
rather have it that focus be on that. Have it be more barrel aged stuff, more like kind of a little more adventurous with that, and kind of just have some fun with it. And because there's a million vodkas out there, there's a lot of gins out there, and I love trying all the new gins and stuff. But there's a lot out there, and if we are going to do it, it would be very unique and So I kind of want to do really unique barrels with really unique spirits and different ingredients, and take some of our craft brewing approach of creativity that the craft spirits industry is still doing, but could take a bit of an approach from craft brewing and use really weird ingredients to come up with something cool.
Yeah, I've heard the best vodka. It was actually from a guy that he used to work at the resorts. Was best vodka was made with grapes. That's what I heard.
What?
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it too.
Man.
Yeah, graft
those
is made
Russians.
from grapes.
He wasn't Russian.
Wow. Isn't it interesting how every liquor or beer has a distinct that's from this country, that's from this country. It has a certain I feel like beer is so universal, and that's what makes it so cool. Mm-hmm. You hear Australians was it Frosh or something, or Foster's.
Foster's.
Yeah. Foster's beer. And the Irish drink Guinness, and Canadians drink strong beer. That's the thing. It's
Australia
kinda cool.
has a huge craft beer industry. Though,
Yeah, they do,
a small
yeah.
country.
No way.
Yeah.
They got a ton of
And
craft
really, really, really good hops come from Australia too. They have really good soil and good climate and stuff, and it just makes really, really citrusy, really big and bold hops that are certain varieties that grow down there are
Wow.
highly in demand throughout the whole world. So
Absolutely.
getting them up here in Canada is sometimes a challenge, and if some of our brokers bring in some stuff, they usually put the word out there and it's snapped up
there.
really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you if you get that text or something like that, you got to jump on it right away.
Oh.
So you
Yeah.
guys are a year in. What have you learned, and what have you loved so far?
Man,
Well, I think they love beer. I'm gonna
Well,
say
love
that's,
beer.
wild.
that's an easy one though.
yeah, just
It's crazy that it's been a year.
Yeah,
You guys
we
are
were talking-
killing it though. I have to say, you guys are killing it. It's
so much,
awesome.
dude.
It is so
Appreciate it.
rad. You guys are doing
Appreciate it,
such a
man.
good job.
Thanks, man. And one major takeaway is the community support that we've received over the past
Yeah,
year.
it's been pretty cool.
It's been amazing. A lot of the same faces come back to the brewery every week, and we've gotten to know a lot of the people that come to the brewery really well, and
friends.
they're friends outside
I would say
of the
we've
brewery
made
environment.
friends, for
Yeah.
sure,
For sure, yeah. I go out to dinner with some people that go to the brewery a lot. It's just kind of cool to see, to kind of connect on a friendship level on top of you're coming to our establishment to have a good time and that kind of thing. But I've really gotten to know a lot of the customers really well, and
sure.
and we hang out with them often, and
That's so cool.
and that's one thing I've really taken away from this past year is really trying to get to know everybody really well, and knowing who they are and that kind of stuff, and why they wanted to come.
That's
That's
so
a lot
rad,
of fun
man.
to. Yeah.
Did you expect that? What did you expect going into the brewing company? I'm going to make some really good beer. Because you do that really well. But also you guys run a place it's really cool to go to in the summer. You have the doors that can open up.
Yeah.
People can just I show up and I see people I haven't seen in 6 years that live in the area that I haven't seen. You show up, you're like, hey, you drink here too? Yeah, man, I drink here too. You meet up with people. It's funny because last time I was there, I went with my dad and
Who?
yeah. And so my nickname in high school is Bobby because they used to call me Bobby Hill because I used to say I looked like Bobby Hill. So I go in there, the
That dang
Peter,
old Bobby.
you know the
Dang old
Peters,
Bobby
right?
Hill.
You know the Peters.
I love that show.
Let's move on.
Dang old
Let's
Bobby
move
Hill.
on. Do you know the
Man,
Peters,
that's it.
Adam Peters, his parents?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So they know me as Bobby.
Oh no way.
And
That's
so
cool.
does Mandy Ron. Well, I guess her
Yeah,
name's
yeah.
not Ron anymore. But so I always go in there hey Bobby. I'm like,
That's so sweet.
what's
man.
up? And then my dad's like, were they talking to you? Because his name's Bob. He's like, were they talking to you? I'm like, yeah, they were talking to me.
That's so
it's
sick,
just so
man.
funny, to meet up with people, and I brought a lot of people there, and I got Ernie into your beer, and yeah, man, it's just such a cool place. We went there and hung out.
Yeah, they had that sausage. You guys had that sausage guy out front.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Smithers sausages. Yeah, from
Those
Hamilton.
were, those were really good.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all he butchers it all himself and stuff, and really cool.
I remember
That's
you had
really-
food poisoning. It was hilarious because you were like, "Yo,
Oh.
is this cooked?"
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
we
know.
were.
That was
It
so-
Yeah.
delicious.
That
by
was
the way,
funny
but,
because you were
I
like,
do remember that.
you were kind of keeping
I
to the
remember that
DL.
day. We
recently, and if you've ever had food poisoning,
Yes,
you're scared about everything.
You're scared.
after that.
Yeah.
It was so funny. You were like,
Sure.
"Hey, is this cooked?" The guy was like, "Yeah, man, I boil it. It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's all
Yeah,
good."
he blanches it before.
But you were like, you were a little worried. You were a little worried.
It was a little soft and stuff, but
Yeah.
it was
Poor
great,
guy.
man. It's
Worried
tasting
about
great.
it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not fun.
Yeah, I've had it once myself. It's not.
Is
it's
that
not a
what
fun
you guys?
time.
Sorry, is that what you had originally thought of though when you opened that place? Was to have it as a come in and sit down bar, or were you thinking just make it, bottle it, and get it out?
It was kind of both.
Sorry.
The last brewery I worked for was very, very taproom focused, which was really cool to see a small community.
That's what that's
embrace
called,
the
is taproom?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, embrace the taproom very full force. My original concept was doing something a little more out in the industrial areas and really just making good beer and selling it to bars and restaurants. But the location we found kind of really it really changed my view on it, where this location needs a tap room because like we're right in the neighborhood and we want to be able to provide, but we're not a restaurant, so we don't have like a extensive food menu, so we didn't want to compete with the other restaurants around that want to support our beer and support the community and stuff like that. But we wanted to have a space where you can come and sit down and have a few beers and have it be like you're just having a good time and not have to like just a sample and then away you go with your beer to go,
The case or whatever,
which is totally cool too. But with the location we had and the philosophy we were developing at the time, it really made sense for us to do something a bit different.
Absolutely. The community's really embraced it, and it's a cool environment. Like you were talking about the summertime, having the door open and stuff.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I'm excited for the summer. But I remember just standing in the brewery and seeing a herd of people walking towards it. And being like, oh, we're about to get busy.
Yeah,
You know?
that's so
And just
rad.
people walking down the street towards the brewery.
So
in a
cool.
group. Or bikes.
Or bikes, yeah, bikes are big in the summer. Yeah, we have a lot of
Bikes.
we put a bike rack out front, and a lot of people roll up, and especially on Saturdays and Sunday afternoons, like people might just be biking around, and then you all of a sudden out of nowhere 10 roll up, and then they want their
That's
quick
so
or their
rad,
drink,
man.
and then they go off on the rest of the ride. So
Yeah, it's cool.
it's really cool, yeah. And so we're working on a patio right now too. It's probably not going to happen this summer, but we're looking at a few different fun things to do for the summer that we're discussing over the next few weeks, and
For sure.
and maybe there's some fun stuff we could do outside the summer. Yeah.
What food do you offer then? Sorry.
Isn't it skip? You guys let us
yeah.
have skip the dishes.
Yeah,
I
for
did that
sure.
once, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
Because
That's
you're
smart.
just like,
That's really
you put it up
smart.
on the board. You're like, don't forget, you can get. I'm like, we did that. We ordered in like Indian food or something. I think. I'm
Sick,
like,
man.
this is so rad. You can. Like, the guy walks in. We're like, right here, bro. Bring it over here.
Yeah, man.
It's like two beers deep. Just give me the Indian
That's
food.
very smart.
Exactly.
Very
Yeah, because
smart.
we're not trying to sell like tons of meals or anything like that, but we do have some food options that if you're hungry, we have some stuff. We got some grilled cheese and the
Yeah.
soft pretzels we were talking about, and chips and dip and
Chips and
meat
salsa.
and cheese board and stuff like that are more beer focused. But yeah, if you want to order pizza or bring in
That's
India
so
food
sick.
or whatever you guys want to do, like bring it in, man, because we just want everybody to make sure, or we just want to make sure everybody has a good time and
So
wants to hang out and have
exactly.
a few
Exactly.
beers, yeah.
One thing I've learned though, when you order pizza, make sure you tell the guy he has to bring a pizza bag. Don't bring as what was it, a grocery bag.
So we were at Twice a Deal Pizza. We were at Twice a Deal Pizza on 24.
Yeah.
This DoorDash guy comes in. Shout out to DoorDash. You did a good job, but
Yep.
the guy brings in the
No, he
grocery
was
bag.
not. He
and the
dropped the
owner's
ball.
like, no. The owner's like, no, I'm not giving you the pizza. It's gonna get
He
cold.
wouldn't give him the pizza.
He wouldn't give the
Yeah.
pizza. He's like, no. He's
Respect
like,
to that,
He's
man.
like, yo,
I know that's exactly what I said.
They got into it, and they got into it. It was crazy.
He's
And
like,
we were
he's like, no, my boss didn't. He's like, oh really? I'm on the phone with your boss right now. Do you want to change your tune?
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
no,
Shout
no,
out
I
to
can't
that
do
owner,
it.
he cares
Yeah,
about
yeah,
his
yeah.
product.
That's
Oh, yeah,
exactly
for
what I
sure,
said.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Twice a Deal Pizza.
Twice
Let's
a
get
Deal
him on the
Pizza.
podcast.
Get him
Yeah, I gotta get him out of
Yeah.
here. Yeah, man.
No,
For
no,
sure.
no.
I gotta bring some sides.
It's
Yeah.
it's 11 o'clock. We can still get him. Get in there.
No, no, no. It was just it's cool to see that we have so many local places that want to have good amazing things
But it was
Yeah,
cool to see something
creating
like
something
that.
unique.
yeah,
for
like
them to
Cambridge
care.
Restaurant,
Yeah.
you guys, Jackass Brewery. Like, there's so many cool local places now that we can just be
Totally.
like, I don't need to go to Waterloo. What do I go to Waterloo for? Like, there's good food here, good beer here. I don't need to go anywhere. Like,
Yeah, like we try to support local too. When say my girlfriend and I are going out for dinner, kind of
Yeah.
thing, we like to support bars and restaurants that support the brewery, but also make something unique and shout out to a few local places around town like Ernie's Roadhouse and
Yeah.
Obie's and Cafe or Local 13 downtown.
Yep.
And,
Did you ever go to
and
Borealis?
Gatorstale and stuff. Yeah, actually, we were on tap there
No
right
way!
now.
Oh, really?
Just got a first keg from us.
wow.
Yeah, last week.
You
Yeah.
guys are like a year in. And you guys like are just making moves. Wave maker. Just
Yeah,
like
man.
earning
It's
and burning.
just step by step, man. Just really want to make good beer and get out there with it and just, you know, we're not looking to take over the world or nothing and grow crazy fast or be like some giant company. Just want to make good beer and work with bars and restaurants and local places that want to sell good beer and value where that comes from.
Well, I can tell you from someone that just drinks nothing but Coors Light and light beer, and after trying that, like that stuff is really, really good.
Thanks,
Really
man.
good.
I've never
Really
thought you'd
appreciate
like a strong
No.
IPA.
No.
That's cool, man.
They do-
Yeah,
that's cool.
just every smoothness, man. Like our beers, we want what I call like a umbrella of drinkability, which is kind of like no matter what we're doing, we want to make sure it's super smooth, easy drinking.
What are you
All
doing?
that,
I don't
man.
want. I don't want to burn the photo into the TV, man.
It's not your TV.
Yeah, but do you know if you leave a picture on too long, it
That's
burns
pretty
it
sick.
in?
That's pretty sick, though.
Always bearded. What's up?
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
edited that.
Aaron edited that.
Yeah.
It had a bunch of like stupid logos and stuff. It was on their website for where they sold all their shit. So it had like a shopping
Stuff, not
cart.
shit, it's awesome.
Sorry, Nana. So it has their shopping cart.
Our Nana listens to our
Yeah.
podcast. That's what I
Shout
was
out
like.
Nana.
Sorry, Nana. Show it to Nana.
Sorry, Nana. We didn't drink that much, Nana.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, she likes drinking beer.
Just a
whatever.
couple beers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I edited it a little bit, so it looks
Yeah.
a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, we've upgraded our podcast. So our first podcast we made, it was just Ernie and I, and we put an iPhone on top of a vase so the audio would be up, and then we just recorded it. And then,
Yeah, but okay, so you probably didn't hear any of the first couple ones. So tell them, give them the short story on how we get.
so I was on a radio show. I like talking, and I love just like hanging out, and I like talking about cool things and hardcore things. So I went on a radio show with a buddy of mine. He has a radio show. It's like a
Till
public radio show.
11:30 at
It was like
night.
11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So we were just like hanging out. So, but he didn't want to talk. He was too afraid. He'd be like, "Hey, so what's up, Jerry?" I'm like, "What's up, man? How you doing?" Like we would just get into it. He's like, "And okay, and then we're gonna play music right now." I was like, okay, so I had like a bunch of my friends listening, and earlier listening was like, "What the fuck was that?" He's like, he texted me. I was like, "Hey, we'll keep it going, bro. Don't worry." And so then, and then after the song, I'm like, "Hey, man, what kind of music are you into?" "I'm into jazz." "Let's listen to
Kind
this
of
song."
like this one.
And then like I'm like, "Oh my god!" And so
I'm like, I didn't stay up till 11:30 for
like-
this horse shit.
like my buddy's a sweet guy, but he's just kind of afraid to talk on that big of a span. So.
Yeah.
I went through the show. We had a good show. Wasn't a lot of talking, a lot of weird music and stuff. And Ernie texted me. He's like, "Hey, do you think we could do something like this?" And I said, "Yeah, man. Why don't we do a podcast?" So then we just started doing it, and then we got a couple episodes in, had a couple people on. We had some local people come on, like Dan from
Tony.
Thrive Studios. Like,
Oh,
you remember
cool.
Dan?
Mhm.
Australian Dan. He's a buddy of mine. He's a great,
I
sweet
don't
guy.
know him, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He's not around here anymore. But then we had then we just started talking to people, having local people on, and then we upgraded our stuff, and we're seeing if video
pretty
works
sick,
out.
man.
We don't know if it's gonna work out.
That's great.
That's cool.
we got
we're-
like Matty
we-
Matheson's buddies coming
I
on.
love Matty Matt.
The guy from
Yeah, that's
the
sick.
guy from Epic Mealtime.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, for real?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
sick.
So we're making
That's sick,
keep
man.
it on the DL. We
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Don't
So,
tell anybody.
so
Yeah.
our biggest, we've had Liam Cormier, the guy from the Canvas Bats, who's such a
Yeah.
cool
Yeah,
guy to
that's
come
sick.
on.
Yeah, they're great.
That was huge for him. He was shaking the entire time.
I'm a
Oh, yeah?
huge Canvas Bats fan.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely
they're sweet.
huge.
That's
So-
not an album. That's a piece of artwork somebody drew for him.
yeah,
Oh,
for
sick.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just a huge fan. So I've met him before and talked to him before, but it was such a cool podcast. So we're just growing, and sometimes we get stuck into the editing. We get caught up with the formality of it. But when we get when we get into this kind of mode, this is what's up. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
find it fun just to
Yeah,
hang
it's
out.
Yeah, man.
No, I was getting
For sure.
pissed. I was getting pissed
Ernie,
because I'm trying
Ernie
to.
is a perfectionist. So the audio has to be perfect. The
Yeah.
video has to be perfect. Everything has to be just so.
Because you'll see me touching dials the entire podcast, just turning it up.
Turning knobs and
Ernie
stuff.
is a music volume. He's aficionado when it comes to perfection.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
Me,
sick,
and so
man.
and then me, I'm the guy who likes to talk and have fun and not to say he doesn't have fun. We laugh so we have a cool balance and we enjoy it, and that's what makes it fun. And sometimes we get caught up with hey, we're not as cool as the Two Bears One Cave podcast, or we're not as cool as that, but we're growing. we made it to the top 100 podcasts on our site Podomatic, like out of like thousands
Congrats,
and thousands
man.
of podcasts.
That's
like,
sick.
We made
Yeah.
it in the top 100. We
That's
were
great,
77 like 2 weeks ago.
That's
Yeah.
so
So,
sick, man.
Well,
like-
I didn't know what to expect, but it's very professional.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is really
yeah,
nice.
it's all him.
man.
Yeah, it's all him, man.
fantastic.
It's
Yeah.
That's all him.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we
Yeah,
we,
it's great.
we just
I've
have
only had one other like radio type experience. I was actually on. Do you know who Todd Shapiro is?
yeah.
Yeah, like Dean Blundell.
Yeah,
Todd.
yeah.
Well, Todd Shapiro has a podcast.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Todd
Yeah.
Shapiro show. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was actually on it.
No,
That's
no
sick.
way.
So I went down to the Sirius XM studio.
Yeah,
No way.
Yeah, it was really, really, really cool. So the episode
way.
I was on, what's the guy's name? He owns the Bunny Ranch in Vegas.
Oh.
Brothel.
Oh.
Don Hoff.
Yes.
I think he's.
Yes.
I think he's.
Fortunately.
passed. Yeah. But
Wow,
he was
man.
on. So it was a weird experience. But
So what were you
it
talking
was really
about?
Cool. I actually talked about my old business.
Yeah, your beer.
cool.
Yeah, like Brewer's Pantry. Shout out to Brewer's Pantry.
Yeah.
Chris, you owe me royalties. But so I sold my business to a guy named Chris, who's running it now. Who's doing a really good job.
Look at you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I was there and I had like a. So it was cool. I got to stay in the studio the whole time, and I had a mic the whole time. But my segment was only like 5 minutes.
Right. Right.
But no, it was cool. It was
Yeah,
But you got
alright.
to you got to
Good to
stay there and
see,
shoot
like,
the
I
shit
got
the
to
whole
stay
time.
there. I got
Yeah.
to talk the whole time. It
Nice.
wasn't like they have you in your 5 minutes and then kicked you out.
Mm-hmm.
They ordered pizza for us in the green room. There's
Yeah.
pizza and drinks and that kind of stuff.
Sounds
and,
sick.
Yeah.
So
Hang on.
Yeah, go
He's
ahead.
comparing us to them. That's what I'm trying to get at.
That's
like,
what I was just about to
yeah,
ask.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So did it seem really structured, or did they kind of just let it flow?
It was structured to a point where it had to be because they had different guests
Yeah.
on throughout the
So they on
the
like
show.
almost like a time
So
limit then?
yeah, it was like they had people phone in, they
Yeah.
had people there, so it was structured to a degree.
Yeah.
But the actual back and forth, yeah, it was just a conversation.
Nice. Nice.
Which
That's
was cool.
yeah. Our
That's
jam is long form conversation. So like,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
man.
think most conversations can't be had in like 15, 20 minutes. You have to have like an hour. You have to have like 2 hours. Like, you know that if you go out with your buddy, you can spend like 2 hours just talking, just like hanging out. And that's the best conversations to have.
sure.
We thought,
Totally
why can't we
agree.
do that on a podcast? And Ernie and I are so open and we're so like I'm not a closed person. I like hanging out with people. I'm not judgmental. We talked about, like we mentioned before, Melissa V. She experiences paranormal activity. She lives down in the States. We had a long conversation about ghosts and cool things like that. It's one of our biggest podcasts, and she's such an interesting lady.
Cool.
We've talked about like so
That's
many
cool,
cool
man.
things. So like our jam is just like now is like we want to be the local podcast.
Yeah, just
We wanna
like
get local
learning new
people on, we
things
wanna have
and,
fun, we wanna
yeah,
talk,
trying to
and,
find
like-
out what's going on with certain people.
And then other
stuff.
people
I
can
think it's great,
access
yeah.
that information, and
Yeah,
we have a
That's
good time.
fantastic.
Promote and cross promote and
And then
Sure.
like that promotion is like our thing. Like we do all this stuff for free. Like Ernie and I fund all this stuff. Like
It's sick,
we get
man.
we just get free beard oil and beard cream. Shout out to Always Bearded. Like they're
so
like
that's usually what we do. Yeah. So we'll have like Always Bearded. They'll throw us a care package every year,
Mm-hmm.
and then we end up actually half of it.
giving it away.
Half of it we give it away, man. So
He knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of it we just give it away,
So,
and it's
it's
just
yeah,
from
we
get
find
people
it
to
fun.
try it,
We just
right?
find it
Try
fun,
new
man.
stuff.
We just
Yeah,
find it fun.
Ah, very cool.
yeah, it's
Thanks for
great,
having
man.
us.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us, man.
Yeah, man.
I
This
really
was a great
appreciate it.
conversation. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you guys want to like? Any little spoiler alerts?
Future-
like the bees are
future
coming
wave
back.
maker.
or-
Yeah, all the bees and stuff. Yeah, well, I know this is releasing after the anniversary party, but
Yeah.
the anniversary party is coming up soon, March 14th. Sorry.
We'll probably do a little live thing tomorrow during UFC. We could probably do something for the podcast to kind of give that
No, man,
some
we'll do it
little.
next week.
Or we'll do it next
on
week.
Friday night.
On Friday night.
that'd be sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Next week
Yeah,
on
man.
Friday
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know. With our
Yeah.
yeah.
Thought we were doing something there.
No.
Nothing?
Yeah, anyway, we really
Guys,
appreciate you guys having us
We
on.
no,
man. This
we're
has been a lot
stoked.
of fun to
We're
talk,
stoked
yeah.
to just have you guys come on. We were just excited to have you guys come on.
Mhm.
Ernie was in a rut today.
Mhm.
We were like literally, we're on the cheater. Like, do we keep this going? Like, what do we got going on here? Like, what do we got? We got like 3,500 people following us on Instagram. We got like a bunch of stuff going on. Sometimes we get
It's
caught
actually
up.
more than that.
Yeah.
I looked today.
Yeah.
Is it
Nice.
45?
Yeah, you're like 45.
That's amazing.
Oh, whatever.
That's great.
Whatever, man.
Just say.
Just no.
Whatever. So, but like we.
Doesn't mean I got 4,500 friends.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it feels lonely. Like but we just appreciate you guys coming on. We just want to say thank you and thank you for bringing us
Absolutely,
here.
thank you.
awesome.
Yeah,
We would love to
absolutely,
have you
man.
guys back and just chill. I told her like this
Anytime.
was going to be a rad
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, anytime,
was.
man. Yeah, because we love talking about just all kinds of stuff. Even at the brewery, between Matt and I, we talk about all kinds of
get into some
subjects.
pretty
from,
heavy
Yeah.
conversations.
So-
yeah, which is
So we'll
great,
have-
you know, so we
we'll
love
have to
just
talk-
talking about deep
Yeah.
stuff. And
We'll have to go into
whatever,
Game
yeah.
of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am out there.
We'll have you guys
Some
back
of the
on.
Stuff I
Yeah.
talk
Did
about.
did you watch Game of Thrones?
I do.
No.
Okay, so we're good on Game
Hang
of
on,
Thrones.
hang on. Let's get into that.
No,
now.
I'm just saying.
I've seen the first episode though.
What?
That's it.
What?
Only the
What?
first one, man. That's
Come
it.
on, there's
With
a-
the brother and sister and
There's
stuff.
a naked
yeah.
dragon.
man.
Sorry,
Just the
Nana.
first
There's
one, that's it.
there's a naked dragon chick.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
One of the first two
man, I gotta
seasons,
get into
though.
that then.
Emily Clark.
He's got a girlfriend
Yeah, that's alright.
to be wife.
It's on TV. It's on TV. What is it?
Anyway, she won't listen to the end of the podcast. They
Yeah,
never
we're all
do.
cut her off.
It's like
right
butter.
there.
It's like butterbeer. It's not real.
Anyway,
It's not real. Yeah.
guys, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate